artifacts, and now they want the shit back. You said they
Okay, yeah,
want the shit back so they can make money off of it now.
correct. So yeah, that's true. So the artifacts, year after year after year, of course, are generating a lot of traction coming into England to go to these places, and of course, to, like I said, pay money, drinks, dining, hotels, all of that stuff just to go see this kind of stuff, right? That's generating money for England.
And private auctions as well. Just want to add that there. Go
Oh,
on.
and all right. Yeah, I didn't want to go there, but I was going to use that if somebody kept pushing. And so the people
He
of
didn't
Benin,
know
they
about
want their,
private
they,
auctions. Come on.
oh my fucking God, there's private auctions for artwork. There's private auctions for like Elvis Presley's memorabilia. There's private
Just
auctions for
land
also.
your fucking plane, you moron. Just
So
keep
just
going because you're
stop running.
still
You don't
wrong.
know what I don't. You Here's the problem, you piece of shit white dude. You have no idea who you're talking
This
to.
Lion,
white dude's still on
You
don't be
top.
don't
He's
know
still
distracted,
what
above
man.
I
you.
Focus on your
know. You
submission.
don't
Just
know
go
what
ahead.
I know. You don't know how far and
You're right. I
how
know a lot
extensive
more
my
than what you
intelligence
know.
is.
I'm
You know
actually
That's fine.
intelligent.
nothing
I
Go
got
ahead.
about
past
me.
seventh grade.
And all you've been
I
doing
didn't
thus
fucking
far
graduate
is
with a
showing
Windex bottle
everybody
on the
how
fucking
fucking
helmet.
jealous
I
you
didn't
We're
need a
are.
doing
fucking
so
mouth
good. We
guard.
were doing so good. We're doing
All
so
right,
good. Let's
thank
go back.
you.
Let's
Like
go
All
we
you're
were
back.
doing is
doing
showing
We're
everybody
good.
how
we're
Like
fucking
doing
okay.
so
jealous you are.
good. We're doing
Lion, please.
so
2 minutes.
good.
2 minutes,
You
Lion,
Oh
man.
jealous,
my
Two
god.
weak
minutes.
little worm. All right, look.
No, I'm not
All right.
jealous.
2 minutes.
I don't
No,
need it. A nappy-headed baboon like you is not making me
no.
jealous.
Not the voice.
Mention that baboon.
Fucking voice.
Look. Let me go out. Let me
No.
go
All
out the
right, yo,
line.
Lion. Two minutes, man.
Look.
Please,
All
Let,
right, I don't
let
let's
me
even
I
go
go
need
out
after.
the
2 minutes.
practice.
Most of it
I
is
go after
done.
knowledge.
I don't need 2 minutes. Most
My
of what I
brother's
was
gonna.
saying was done. The whole point is by
Oh,
having
thank
these
God. It's like
artificial.
going to the dentist
Shut
without
up.
Novocaine.
Brad, he's
The
about to land. Let him just land, man.
He's
All right, go
scared
on.
of me. Listen, he sees me and sees everything he wish he was. Look,
No
so
one's scared
what
of you.
happened?
No
What's
one
what's
ever
happening
was
here is
scared.
what happened is there. Here is this: people are spending money and going to these places, and it's generating income for the state. All right, it's a tax revenue. The same thing. That's what Benin wants. That's what all of these African nations want. They want their shit back because they know that they're entitled to the traction to come into Africa. They want the tourism. They don't just want people just going there just to have sex with the locals and shit like that and catch AIDS and shit like that. They want more things to contribute to the world other than the sex tourism. That's the point that I'm getting at.
All right,
That's the
Brad.
That's
overall point.
bullshit.
All right,
That's
Brad, go
absolute
on.
All right,
Yeah,
bullshit.
Brad, what's your
I'll be
What's
quick.
your submission?
I'll be
Okay.
quick. I'll be quick. All
So
right, I'll be
none of
quick.
the
I
museums,
said I was
none.
after. I said I was after.
No,
Oh,
Let me
sorry,
you've been
sorry,
waiting a
sorry. I didn't
long
hear that.
time, knowledge.
Yeah, I
You
said
you
I was
said
after
you
mine.
jumped in after me. You're after me.
I mean, you're a mod, so I
I'm
mean,
at,
I
I'm
mean,
But
at the
I'm quick.
knowledge. So what?
But
Having a
I'm quick.
Benin
I'm quick
statue is gonna
though.
grow the
I
GDP
need
of
less. I need
Nigeria?
less than
Like,
20 seconds. I swear, less than 20 seconds.
Okay,
I'm
go
pretty quick.
ahead, knowledge.
All right, thank you, sir. So
well,
yeah,
I go
I
after
did.
Brad.
So I did chat GPT very simply
oh god.
while you guys were arguing the whole time, and I think that Matt was correct based on what he said. So it's at the large museums such as the Met, Smithsonian, and LOMA. These net profit, I asked after everything, after all, everybody's paid, maintenance, how much do they make? And it says net profit usually is zero to a small surplus. Surplus can be in the low millions depending on grants, donations, and endowments, but there's typically no profit.
So again, that just coincides with my earlier point that these places, museums and stuff, don't generate any revenue. Now the private sales, yeah, it depends on the bid and who sells it. Most of the time, it doesn't really help them. And even if they do a private sale, it's usually because they're so far behind and they can't even fucking make rent that they need to do a private sale shit, and that money's immediately sucked up and gone. So they don't really have any ability to generate revenue. Why? Because morons and idiotic failed abortion types like Lion don't go to the museum to actually garner knowledge. And let's be frankly clear, nobody is going to go to Tanzania to go to a museum. No one's going to travel to there. They barely go there just to go see the great tourist spots. They barely go there to see, like, get travel to Mount Kilimanjaro. They barely do that. No one's going to the Congo. No one's going to fucking old Burma. Nobody is going to these places to go see this stuff. I'm sorry, Sierra Leone not going to have its fucking jewels back, or India. Sad to say, it is. That's what happens when you get conquered. The same thing with America. You're not going to get all the gold that was poured out of the Aztecs in Central America. You're not going to get that shit back from Spain. You're just not. And secondly, no one's going to go to the museum in Mexico. People generally don't go. Even in Europe, where they're the most prominent and they put the most money in and they're the most historic, they still don't generate a huge amount of wealth. They barely survive, if they survive at all. And they need basically money from the state in order to fucking exist. And it's a shame because people should go to them, but you have an iPhone now, and that's more reliant. And you have idiots like Lion that think, oh, they just make money. They make money. I wish if he believed that, he should put every dime and nickel he has in them, because at least I know that we'll at least have pop up books around for another year.
Wait, but
Yeah,
let me
but
ask you a
but
question.
here's
So
where I
So,
Ghana,
disagree with Brad.
so
Wait, I just want to
Ghana,
say
Mr.
this
Phineas
quick.
next.
Ghana,
It's my
Mr.
turn. I'm
Phineas
gonna be
I
very
next.
just I
quick.
just
My
want
Mr.
to
turn.
Phineas
say
next. Mr.
quick.
It's my
Phineas
turn.
next. Mr.
It's my
Phineas
turn.
next. Yes.
Yeah, I was just gonna double down. I was listening to this idea of like zoos and stuff making money. Yeah, they don't. And yeah, they definitely do not draw tourists like that. Zoos are mostly visited locally by like local school groups and local folks. Tourists don't visit like zoos or museums like that. And I mean, certainly there's exceptions to the rule, right? You might have some like educated tourists that like that's their thing, but that's not the majority. Like um, and then I was also saying that Lon was making a greater point that I'm guessing he was making a later point. He will correct me that he's saying that museums and stuff are a overall part of like the tourism draw, which again I totally disagree because friggin' Central Florida has quite a few museums here that like tourists don't go to.
All
Mostly
empty.
it's mostly locals that go. But yeah, they're yeah. If you compare them to like the other spots, they're freaking empty. People don't come here for that. So yeah, and having been to Europe a gazillion times, yeah, people ain't going for the freaking museums. They're definitely not going for that.
Well, and even if you did
They're
say
going there
go
for
to,
jobs, like
well,
this guy.
even if you do go to one of these, like the Louvre or the Met or something, you know what I mean? Like, even if you go to one of these large, museums or even a very like famous zoo, like the money that they generate just goes back into that institution to either buy more stuff, get more staff, clean things up. But I don't think anyone would ever look at a museum and say like it's for profit. Aren't they all nonprofit? I have to ask
Yeah, I think
I
ChatGPT.
mean, I
Lion needs
mean,
to get out of Compton,
there is
man.
a
I
place in
think living in
Nigeria. Oh,
Compton is
God.
not a good thing, man. I mean, you just say these things about the world nations, literally trying to correct people who've traveled the world. I mean, my thing with all this babbling was doing is why is he this confident? You've never left Compton, bro. I mean, at the end of the day, bro, I mean, just at least try going to New York at this point, bro. I mean, get yourself one of those munching ass Popeyes chicken. You know what I mean? Look around, see how people actually live in life. And this is the problem with some of your clubhouse niggas, man. Get out of that basement, bro. Go into the real world. You're debating fucking pilots and travelers. This is weird on your side.
all right.
Don't buy the
So,
bait. Don't buy the bait.
all right, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yo,
So,
Masanda, you know what's funny? You know what's
I
funny?
would,
That's
I would love
I'm
for.
actually
Hey,
crazy.
eating.
can
I'm
somebody,
actually eating a
somebody
piece of
still man
Popeye's
my
chicken.
point? Can someone please still man my point? You all arguing shit I never said. Can someone please still man my point?
Well, I mean, just to give an example
And this
here,
guy
in
was
Nigeria,
crying. But this
in
is
in
what
Well,
I'm
I
in
telling
think,
in,
but
you.
this
in,
is
in
where
But
you,
you
Nigeria,
hurt
this
my
is,
in
you
Nigeria,
hurt
there's
my
a place
feelings
called the
when you
Lekki
yeah.
Conservation.
cried. What the
Are you
hell are
really?
you?
Well,
Hey,
What
wait,
the
it's
hell
just
hurt
Cranberry's
you?
responding
What
to
the
you.
you
hell
just
Wait,
wanted
are you
to
Cranberry's
you just
talking
wanted to
responding
about?
to
throw an
you.
ad hom because I'm constantly talking about how you're a bunch of camel fuckers over there, and so you want to get back at that, but you didn't
Bro, you
really
were the one
argue.
cry,
You
bro.
didn't
Not all
argue.
of
Brad,
us
was this
have
guy not crying? This
camels,
guy was
You
FYI.
crying.
didn't make a viable
Bro,
Camels
argument
don't
how
to
are you,
that.
exist
bro?
all
Do you have
over
a
the
child?
place.
That
I
was
would
so
love that.
Camels
embarrassing,
don't
bro.
But
Like,
still
exist
listening to
all
you
man
cry
over
was
the
just
logic.
world.
embarrassing,
I
man.
just want people to know,
Still
like,
man
I
not
just
logic.
sorry, King.
not
I
every
just don't like
country
listening to
has a
men
I
cry.
camel.
can. I
That
can. I
no,
can
no,
still
no.
man
I
it.
just no. This guy likes crying, man. That shit was just embarrassing. I'm sorry, guys. He was crying his
I
eyes out.
can't
You could literally
understand
hear his
anything you're
tears,
saying.
literally debating over a
I think
fucking
it's the
zoo.
inbred,
But obviously, this has nothing to do with the zoo. This is some victim mentality. This is the problem.
victim
Sometimes I think with a lot
mentality.
of Black American men in America, right? He's trying to take out a lot of the
Who's the
anger he
victim?
has
What are
on
you talking
whites
about?
by talking
How am I?
about fucking zoos and shit.
You just throw
Yeah.
out
This is
anything
what
that you
happens
hear
when
on
you put
YouTube.
Hebrew
Everything is
Israelite and then you put
White
victim
people
this is
mindset
dumb
say
as
with fucking
shit.
not graduating fucking elementary
Look at him.
school. That's what you get. You
He's
get
making he's
knowledge.
doing his
That's
mating
or
calls
not
right
knowledge.
now.
You get fucking lion. You get lion, the
All
retarded
right,
person.
somebody please
This
still man
guy
my argument
can't
for this
fucking
fucking
Yeah,
chocolate
yeah,
night
yeah.
actually.
goes on again.
I can do
I
it.
mean,
Look, look.
seriously,
Thank
So
you. Go right
it's
ahead, knowledge.
literally the worst
look,
combination of somebody
the
who
larger
thinks he's like
argument broken
entitled,
down
and
into simplistic
then he's
format would be
fucking
something like
retarded.
overall money has been profited off of stolen artifacts. The money that's been profited off of stolen artifacts should be the belongings of those who were stolen from. That's the smaller
Correct.
spectrum of the argument.
Now let's go to the museum argument. What was I talking about there?
Oh my
I think
God.
you're.
The
You
I
museum.
said
think.
museums are
Can I
profitable. They're
wait? Can
not.
I build a bridge? Can I
Shut
build a
up,
bridge
you
for
simp.
Lion,
No,
please?
not unless I
Let
Fucking
can
me.
just
simp. Shut up.
like drown
No, let
him
me
because
build.
he
Let
should
me.
have been aborted.
No,
This guy should
Your
have
no,
never been
mother
no.
should have
None of
allowed to
aborted
none
you.
reproduce.
of you should have
I
been
mean,
aborted,
like,
or we couldn't have this
yeah.
argument today. So let's just move
No,
on.
That would
you
be
could.
better.
I mean, I'm
So
all for
I
it.
think
I
Lion's
kind of
point
want.
is I think Lion's point is these white-owned museums make a profit from taking like black or brown people's artifacts, and they get to have a profit that helps them
Intrinsic value.
function. No, it's it's not even intrinsic value.
Holy
I
shit.
just
He doesn't even know what that phrase means.
I wouldn't use the word intrinsic value, Lion. I think what you're just saying is, hey, these UK people took artifacts from Benin. They get to bring more people into their museum because people want to see those artifacts. Therefore, they're making a profit that supports their institution. But what we're all saying is that they're not making a net profit. I get what you're saying. I don't know why we need to argue this.
All right. So what I'm trying to say here
And this is
is,
why women should be prime ministers
Can,
and
no,
dictators.
don't turn this
can I
into a
try?
Because
Can I
gender
try?
thing.
come on, let me just have one joke. Jesus Christ, you guys are so
Prime
like
Minister of
uptight today.
Kitchonia.
Hey, the
Lion,
Prime Minister of New Zealand is doing a great job, okay?
Lion. Is your wider question
She got
something
fired.
like? Is your
Did
wider
she get
question
fired?
some? Is
Damn.
your wider
Yes.
question?
Why did
Is
she
your
get
wider
fired?
question?
Hold
Is
on. I'll
your
tell you.
wider
Hold on.
question? Is
Wait.
your wider question? Is your wider
By the
question
way,
some? Is your wider question something like? If there was no money to be made out of museums, why do people still have museums open?
No, no, no. So what I'm my point is, how do I put it? People go. I'll give an example. People go to New York for to see the entertainment, right? They're there to see the New York players, basketball, football, whatever, right? And then there are people that go there for they want to see the sights. They want to go up to Niagara Falls. They want to see the lights. And then some people go there because they know that there is some sort of rare uh, artwork at a particular museum. Some people are going. All of them though are going to this location, this geographical location, and while they're there, they're going to the restaurants. They're going to other events. They are spending money at the local hotels. They are doing all sorts of things. Some of them are spending money, uh, bumping into Brad's relatives, and having sex with them. Hopefully, not catching syphilis.
God,
People
you
are
AIDS
there.
infected chimp, like trying
People
to
are
fucking
there.
describe. First, you brought
People
in
are
Niagara Falls, which is a natural
there.
wonder. Do you know
People
how
are
many wonders of the
people are
world there are?
people are
Not lying. Do
flying,
you know how many wonders?
traveling,
I'm still waiting
and
for you to
going
figure
to
out how
these
many
places
continents out there. I really
because
want you to tell me that.
all of
You
these things
don't
are
know.
located there. And what that means is
And nobody goes to them. No one goes to them.
walking
The Met is
people
not located near
represent
Niagara Falls. It is
money.
literally on the other side of
Rep
the
yo,
state, you retard.
Brad. Really, no. Hold on,
oh my
sis. Wait, no, no. You
yeah,
do
and I
something that's
don't
kind of
understand
weird.
with this
Nah,
guy.
stop.
I
Let's
just
let
said
him
it as
finish
an
because when
analogy.
you took shots at him
Lion,
on your
lion,
response, like he
lion.
didn't
He
respond, bro.
can't
Come on, let's
because
No,
let
he's
he
a
him
was taking
piece of
shots
finish.
shit
earlier, so I
white
just
I
guy.
responded the
know, I
same
know.
way. I can keep
He's
going with
a
him.
piece of shit white guy. He can't help himself.
No, this is a fucking what
All
piece
right,
of
so
shit black
yeah,
skid mark
yeah,
that
you're a
belongs
piece
back
of
in the
shit
ghetto
white
or on a
guy.
plantation.
I
Damn, not
know, I
all
know.
the races getting
All right,
shots fired.
yeah. So here's the point. If those artifacts were taken from there and brought back to its original geographical
Mine's
location,
the reason we have AIDS. He was fucking
so
monkeys. I mean, come on.
and brought to Benin. This will be yet again another reason why those people from all over the world may want to visit Ghana or want to visit the area. They want to visit the Mali. They want to go and see the old Mali Empire.
No
They
one's
would
going to
want to go to
Ghana.
these places. They would want to go to Benin. They would want to go to Nigeria because all of the things that represents
Even
what
Nigerians don't want to
the
go to
that
Nigeria. What the fuck are you talking about?
it's all about, they will go there. And while they're there, they're spending money, like we said. They're going to the restaurants. They're sightseeing. They're spending money in other different ways. People mean equals money. That's what I'm trying to say. The money is all being funneled into England because of all the shit that England stole from everybody else. So if the Africans want to see the West Africans of Benin want to see all their artifacts, you can't go to West Africa to see this shit. You got to go to England, and you got to spend your money in England. You got to do all this stuff in England, and that's the point.
Can can
Overall, my point.
can I give it can I give it like an analogy? So you're saying something like if the Diary of Anne Franklin was in Miami, in a museum in Miami, people that want to see the Diary of Anne Frank would have to go to Miami. It's something like that, just basic.
Right, something like that. Yes, perfect.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. The
I mean,
1,000 people,
I
maybe a year
I my
knowledge.
argument, yeah, I know that's what I'm saying. My argument against that would be something like there's millions of historical pyramids in the Amazons. No one goes to the Amazons to see any of these pyramids. I think there's areas that people want to go to and areas people that don't want to go to.
Well, I can give an example after you're done.
Yeah, yeah. If it's
People, millions, I mean, hundreds of thousands of people go to the
if
pyramids in
it's
Mexico
if
every day.
it's
Doesn't this guy bitch
yes,
about people
yes, that's
interrupting
one of
him
them.
all the time?
Yes,
But
look,
like
look,
I
look.
told
All right, I'll
you,
go
There's
after Knowledge.
pyramids in yes, there's pyramids in Egypt. Yes, there's pyramids in Mexico. But there's also a pyramid in China. No one goes to see. There's also millions of pyramids in the
Memphis. There's a pyramid in
Amazons that no
Memphis.
one goes to see. There's freaking pyramids all over South America that no one goes to see. There's pyramids all over the world. People only see three main locations of pyramids. So once again, I don't think it's a good argument that because of the location, people are going to see it because of the location. I do think there's some um exceptions. Yeah, there's definitely some exceptions. There's some artifacts that people do want to see, and that's why I think Brad is arguing that yeah, maybe we're going to talk about thousands of people a year maybe who want to see a specific artifact. But yeah, I don't think it's going to tip the scale where it's going to be profitable.
Well, I can give an
Personally,
example real quick. I think just like literally a minute. I'm an arts person. I'm not really like addicted to going to see art. Yeah, I see it on my phone. I read the history. I'm good, you know. But people who really like value that kind of industry really want to like go there and appreciate the culture. Yes, in North America and other countries like Europe, they have better technology to preserve that art as well. So I guess that's a good thing. But I kind of get Lion's point because particular things do drive attention and do increase tourist attractions because it's there. For example, if Africa, if Nigeria won the World Cup, right now, like any African, if any African country wins the World Cup, tourism will definitely increase by it will shoot up tremendously because it's such a huge monumentous thing that like billions of people watch more than the Super Bowl and the NBA or whatever. So I wouldn't equate it to art, but particular people who love that kind of industry would want to actually wouldn't actually feel bad to go to Africa to actually experience these things firsthand. Example, Ghana. People go to Ghana. Someone said no one goes to Ghana. People go to Ghana a lot. Ghana's tourism is quite high.
Oh,
yeah, he
yes,
People go
doesn't
to
they
know what the
Dubai
fuck
do.
he's talking about. That was
and
Brad's
everything.
dumbass.
So
Also,
yeah.
Nigeria is trying to bring a Formula One race
I
Yeah.
too.
wasn't
That would be
done, but
kind of
like
Oh,
yeah,
dope
and
to
but
see.
4.5 million people go to Mexico to see those pyramids there
yeah, I mean, like
every
people know
year.
that there's an art gallery in Nigeria called Nike's Art Gallery. Like she's a lady that collects art in Nigeria, and people definitely she gets she gets traction. Now, does she get a lot of money from it? Maybe from private dealers. How does she keep the lights on? I can't answer that question. Maybe someone else can answer the question as to how zoos and museums keep the lights on. But I know for a fact that woman's art gallery is never dry. Every single day, people are there from different countries, from Mexico, America, UK, Nigeria. Like they want to
Oh, can you
see
put her
African
stuff
art.
in the
So,
link? Maybe I want to
so
go.
yeah, that's my
All right, I'll go
submission
after
is that
Greenberg.
yeah. No, but that's pretty much it. That's what I wanted to say. But I mean,
Can you put
Now,
her
Oh,
maybe
wait, I'll go
you're
after
not
Greenberg.
in
interested in
Hold
it, so
on,
you're
so I
Tim
assuming.
is
could
next.
see it?
Hold on,
I
Tim
can't
is
hear. This
next.
one's talking at the same time. I
Hold
can
on,
hear
Tim is
everybody.
next. Tim was
I
next.
go after whoever.
I'll go
Huh?
after
Well, cut off.
Finley.
So I couldn't allow my boy,
You're
but
you're
I'll
yeah.
go
you're
after.
you're the Matrix King, but we'll do Tim and then Mr. Finley.
Now
I'll go after Finley.
I'll
All
go
right.
after Brad. Um, I could be wrong about this, and I'm willing to be wrong. But I heard you just said like 5 million people go visit the pyramids. Isn't that free? Can't you just walk up to the pyramids for free? So doesn't this, in your scenario where people like museums and stuff are making money?
But to
You,
get there, it costs so much
you're
to get
if
there,
you're asking me, you
Yeah, to
mixed
get
up.
there, but that
You're
doesn't.
yeah,
and they spend
if
on the
you're asking
economy.
me, you missed the point, Tim. What I said was I gave a long, drawn out, boring ass point that people through their traction, they're indirectly bringing money or generating money to the area.
Yeah,
That was
exactly.
the point. You get it?
I agree with
Yeah,
that
but
point.
I
Actually, it's
feel
true.
like over the time of this
And
conversation,
I'm being yelled down because the idiots in the room can't quite understand how basic economics work.
Well, I feel like the evolution of this conversation was museums and well, zoos make money. Hey, lion, no, they don't. Now we're in Egypt.
No, oh my God.
And now we're
You got to
Mexico.
stop getting
It
high
was
so
an
much and
example. It was an
follow
example. It was an
follow
example.
the conversation as it organically kind of morphs into
You mean as
overall
Lion
point.
tries to two-step and toe dance
That's
his
all
way
you have
away
to
from the
do. No,
bullshit
no,
he
no.
says and keeps
That's really,
stretching
hey
it
Tim,
every
Tim,
time.
Tim.
Lion is my turn. It's my
Yeah,
turn,
Tim,
right?
yeah,
all
yeah,
you
it is.
gotta
It is.
all you gotta
It's
Oh,
do.
no,
my
no,
turn,
hold
right?
on, hold on. There's a queue. There's a queue, 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 queue.
He asked a question.
Hold on.
I'm
Queue,
answering
queue,
the
queue,
question.
queue,
Yeah,
queue, queue,
you can
queue,
answer it on
queue.
your turn, Lion. It's my
Yeah, yeah,
turn.
yeah. We'll
So
do
so yeah,
Finley, then
yeah.
Brad, then Lion.
Again and again and again,
That's
Lion
it.
will correct me if I'm wrong. Lion's point is that the museums, because they were talking about zoos as well earlier. This adds to the tourism, right? It's one of the draws in tourism, and I disagree. Like I've been to Paris, trashy city by the way, and like I was with a group of folks. We went to the Louvre. They didn't want to go inside. They just want to take pictures of the architecture on the outside. And y'all, just like the freaking Eiffel Tower, like like people just want to take pictures next to like landmarks, right? Comparing like the pyramids, which are landmarks, to museums, it's a false equivalence, right? People don't want to freaking go in museums when they're traveling. They just don't, right? Now, are there exceptions to that rule? Absolutely, there's exceptions to the rule, right? But the rule is people aren't drawn to countries because of museums and artifacts. They're just not. If you want to throw in freaking landmarks, you're being dishonest. And also, the argument that I heard made the argument that zoos and museums make money, which they don't. To King's point, the little revenue that they do draw in does go back into the museum. That little revenue, along with private donations and like state funding, whether that be whatever the country is, whatever the state we're talking about, like that helps that museum to survive. You know what I'm saying? Um, so yeah, they don't really bring in a lot of revenue. It's like saying like a transit system brings in revenue. Yeah, but it's not like profits, right? It's a little bit of extra to help them survive. I'll leave it there.
All right.
Yeah.
Next, hold on. Next is gonna be Brad. After Brad, Lion. I'm gonna go after Lion.
Yeah. I mean, like last year alone, there was something like what is it? The army closed all of its military historical museums. So the military is closing all of their museums. The USS Texas, which was like supposed to be this like great hero from World War I and World War II, actually fought on the beach of Normandy, did something fucking amazing, almost sank itself in order to help the troops. Is a museum that doesn't receive any visitors. Fucking Pearl Harbor, big museum, doesn't receive as many visitors as people think. They're not going there. They like to see it, but that's not the main reason they're going to Hawaii. They're going to Hawaii to get drunk, fuck something, and then hopefully be able to come home disease free, kid free. And then
Don't
you
forget the
have
tuna poke too. Go ahead.
yeah, there you go, that too. And then you have like when you go to Paris, yeah, it's a cesspool. People are going to Paris for the ambiance, for the fact that it's a big French city, that it has a lot of things to do and see. Yes, they'll go to see the Louvre. You'll be disappointed in the Mona Lisa. It's about the size of a fucking computer screen. You will be, absolutely enthralled with some of the things, but most of them won't even go past the Mona Lisa. They won't go up to the other artworks. They
Yo,
won't even
Brad,
pay.
that's a fact. That's exactly what I thought when I saw, when I saw it.
Yep.
Also
No,
very crowded. Very crowded.
yeah, it's like going to Italy and you'll go see like the Leaning Tower of Pisa and you'll do your stupid photo shoot pretending you're pushing it or holding it up, and then you'll go to the Colosseum and you'll be like, "Oh, humans built this," and then that'll be it. But you'll miss like all of the other stuff, all the museums, all the fucking Centurion Museum and all of that stuff to learn about how they did things. You'll miss the pottery demonstrations, and they have these all around, and nobody does. That age is over with thanks to the iPhone. Like that Edwardian, that Victorian age where it would promulgated fucking zoos and museums, and that was it. That was because that was the only thing to go do. These were central points. These were focal points of culture. That's how you introduced a variety of things that people could learn from. Libraries. These are going to the wayside. They're profit losses. They are never money generators. They don't income it. And the only time a zoo will actually make money if it's operating just like at a 5% decrease or flatlined, I mean, is when it sells the money. I mean, the Buffalo Zoo did the first historical thing ever. It took a frozen sperm that was 25 years old, implanted it into a female black rhino, and gave birth to Monica, which is the name of the rhino. And it was delivered. I was there. I watched it. It was amazing. A 600 pound
Coincidence,
fucking,
Brad? I say no.
huh? It's a 600 pound
Coincidence that
baby.
his name is Monica. Coincidence that his
It
name
was
is Monica.
her
I
name
say
was
no.
Monica. The baby's name was
I'm
Monica.
saying no.
Yeah, it wasn't meant as an insult or anything. I'm just saying that's actually was the rhino's name. Um, but I mean, it was a 600 pound baby, and it was incredible. First time. You know how much money it earned for this big process that had all this donations? Zero. It actually ended up costing them $2.5 million to do this at a huge loss. It almost bankrupted the Buffalo fucking Zoo because of all the staff, all the implementation that needed to be done there. Because they never got the profits, they never got the grants, they never reached any of the goals to be able to do this. But it was a first of its kind. It was a procedure to help preserve an endangered species. And guess what? Nothing. So no, these places are not making money. And Niagara Falls is a natural fucking wonder. Nobody spends money on the American side because there's museums on the American side. There's stores on the American side. Go look at the American side. It's a shithole. It is literally a fucking shithole. No one is spending money on the American side. The Canadian side has all fun fucking activities, and guess what they are? Fucking weird shops, Ripley's Believe It or Not, a Ferris wheel, a spinning restaurant in the fucking tower. That's what it is. No one's going it's a party town with a shit ton of bars. So they grab a bunch of college kids from fucking Buffalo University or Fredonia or Niagara University, and they jump across the border and they go fucking drinking and tearing it up in Niagara Falls. And that's their money generator. They're counting on college kids to blow their fucking tuitions on fucking alcohol. They're not going to the museums there. They're not going to see anything. And they're very rarely are people even operating on the Maid of the Mist. And those guys still lose fucking money on a fucking closed business. I don't even know how they do that, but they can't keep running at the times. So I don't know what the fuck Lion's talking about, but this happens when you have retarded fucking people scream, I'm a black victim, I'm oppressed, and I need everything, and drink Windex and wear fucking plastic helmets and beat their head all day.
All
Can I go
right.
after
Wow,
the
you
last
were
Next.
very
person?
All right.
descriptive, Brad.
Yeah,
Very
he.
Can I go after
violent.
the last
All right,
person?
my
No.
turn.
All right. Hold on.
He's
Hold on. Hold on. I'm gonna read the queue. I'm gonna read the queue.
It's me.
Yeah,
Next in
please.
the queue. I know. I know. I know. Okay. Next in the queue is gonna be Lion. After Lion is Knowledge. After Knowledge is Cranberry. King, do you want to get in the queue as well?
I mean, might as well insert
Okay.
my feminine
After
opinion.
Cranberry, King. But I do want to say, everybody
Mhm.
in the room, please notice, Lion was on mute the entire time everybody else spoke.
Mhm.
Now,
Mhm.
Yay!
I know he's triggering, but everybody try to do the same.
Good
Ready?
job,
Because they
Lion.
are.
We're
One mic
proud
on
of you. We're
Lion.
proud of you. Keep it up.
We'll see how proud you are. Hold on. All right. So let's start with the first one. Let's see. Mexico's tourism to the actual pyramids generates about 4.5 million visitors annually. The next one, which was mentioned, the Louvre Museum in Paris generates 8.7 to 9 million visitors annually. That's according to the Statista. Uh, it says the attendance is closer to 9 million. Let's go to, I put New York inside the country. New York City museums collectively attract over 25 million visitors annually. And then finally, last but not least, let's go to, I put this one in the chat. This is for Flanders.
Throw me back in the.
This one here is like this is amazing. It says here, Florida's art and cultural industry, which includes museums, generates a significant amount of tourism revenue, contributing billions with the B as in boy, as in dumbass bastard of dollars to the state's economy. Specifically, the industry generates 5.8 billion with the boy in economic activity, including 2.9 billion by nonprofit arts and cultural organizations. So, what I'm trying to say here is just because your dumbass is not interested in these things does not mean that a big swath of our population isn't. Just because you're more interested in WWF and mudbogging and prostitution and going to see your family members go work in New York street on the street level selling hot dogs and shit does not necessarily mean that everybody has the same exact motives as you do. You're the piece of shit here, and you're wrong. I told you, when you have the art, the people will come. The museums, they're just there to house other people's shit. And that was my point. It's a money generator. It brings the money to the area. It's one of the contributing factors. Let's say it together, stupid. One of the contributing factors. Repeat it with me, stupid niggas. One of the contributing factors. Not the primary, not total, not complete, but one of the contributing factors. You fucking chumps. It's horrible that I have to constantly keep going back and forth with you clown ass niggas because you have a deep seated insecurity about me and yourself. You see me, you see a monolith. You see yourself, you see a fucking insect. The problem isn't me, nigga. The problem is
You keep
you. You're a weak,
you keep running.
insecure, old, ran down, used up, broken little man. And you're angry that the next up and coming like myself has already surpassed you, and you see it. That's what this is really about. You were wrong. All of you were fucking wrong. Pyramids bring people, museums bring people by the millions. It ain't no 4 or 5 people. We're talking annual. And it's bringing people to spend money. Like I said, you can't refute that. You're just angry that you're fucking wrong. And it's okay. You're always fucking wrong.
All right, so I want to point out the argument that I made earlier first. The argument that I made earlier, he actually responded directly in my defense. I said there are exceptions to the rule. I said, for example, the pyramids in Mexico, the pyramids in Egypt. These are one of the pyramids that people will go to see. But guess what? China has pyramids. Nobody knows about the Great White Pyramid in China. Nobody goes to China to see the Great White Pyramid in China. There's also millions of pyramids in the Amazon. No one goes to see these millions of pyramids. There are exceptions. And the pyramid argument was a response to what he said about, I think it was the Niagara Falls, and which Brad addressed that the Niagara Falls, it's what do you call it?
Natural
It's
wonder.
natural wonder. Yeah, it's a natural wonder. So yeah, these are not an
It's also a
analogous.
border
These are not analogous to
border
freaking
crossing.
museums. They're not analogous to museums. That's why I said pyramids. Um, uh, well, he said the Niagara Falls.
Thank you,
Yeah,
knowledge.
these are not the same as museums. Second point. So then he wanted to address everybody. I don't know if you noticed what he did. He noticed. Sorry, he mentioned how many people went to freaking the pyramids in Mexico, for example. And Tim actually said, well, it's pretty much free. You can just walk there and walk up the pyramids. You don't have to pay any money to walk up the pyramids. It's free. There's no money made out of it. So if a billion go there, if 10 billion go there, it doesn't matter. And then he did the same thing for the Louvre Museum. So I looked up the Louvre Museum while he was talking. It says in 2022. The museum in Paris reported a net loss of around 46 million euros. This was largely due to lingering impacts of COVID-19 downturn, but still they had a negative net income as a gigantic museum that had 7.8 million people show up to it. Yeah, it still didn't make any money. It lost a lot of money. I'm surprised it's still up after 2022 and 2023. Yeah, every line. So I think Lion is he has a three-layered argument. And he is right when you put all three layers together, but once you pick apart the layers like an onion, you see all the fallacious reasonings that lead to the core of the onion. Thank you.
He also changed the argument, though, by the way.
Yeah, I know, but yeah.
He always
Yeah.
does. He always does. That's what he
I
does.
didn't
But
I
where
didn't
where
change anything.
where
Next
am
in
I
the
in the
queue.
queue?
Next in the queue is
You have a
cranberry.
failure to comprehend.
Next in the queue is cranberry. After cranberry is king. After king is Mr. Finley.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'll try to keep
Oh,
mine.
and then Brad. And then Brad.
Yeah, I'll try to just keep mine short. So I kind of understand the argument, and both parties are right. Like nobody may actually go to a particular location to see something, but it doesn't mean it's not one of the main factors that people go there, right? I mean, whenever people think about a particular thing for a country like France, everyone thinks Eiffel Tower, the Louvre. Like these are things that trigger it and say, okay, let's if it's there, then that will pave the way for them to actually do other things. Contribute to the economy, patronize local businesses. This drives tourism to an extent and actually increases it. And people like that have to have tourists here. They spend money thanks to some piece of fucking art that people think it's ugly at sometimes, but people still come here regardless because it's France. And also primarily because of the culture, I guess, as someone mentioned correctly. Another thing is Knowledge said something that was very like vital. Like this, when you peel off the layers. Like for example, now social media is like the way everyone advertises their business. Like no one runs TV ads anymore, to be very honest. Like not as much. But there's a particular attraction in Thailand that actually people went to that country because of that particular attraction, and that was a baby hippo, the baby hippo named Mudang. Mudang was so fucking popular. People were actually making viral videos of them traveling and they had to just go and see one animal. And that zoo reported that they made over $500,000 in mid of 2025, it's September or something, I can't remember. Thanks to one particular hippo that definitely like drove tourist attractions and everything like that. So without Mudang, that particular period, Thailand, I mean, well, I'm not saying that he was the main decision maker of anything, but Mudang definitely brought a lot of people, and they came because of him, not because of Thailand. So when you pick the layers, it could be very small cases such as these that may definitely say people are going to a country because of a particular thing, but not all the time, which is also true, right? No one's coming to sometimes no one goes there for any kind of attraction. They just go there because they have business or schools or better lives or just want to just like relocate, right? But again, both parts are right. But just when just add that example of Mudang, that people did go to Thailand because of that little fucking baby hippo, and they made that zoo a lot of money, like stupid money. That they were like, bruh, like even they hired more people, people got better pay, and it was great for the country as well. Oh, and this one, and actually one more thing. This one is quite fresh. I know you guys have seen it a lot on social media. What's it called? This little kid, this Aura kid that just does that dance on that boat. I can't remember the country. People are now doing deals with him. He was named the national
Indonesia.
Indonesia, thank you, as international ambassador of tourism, right? And when people go there, when people go to Indonesia, they think about one thing to think about now currently is the orchid. So like there are particular layers that could have a short term burst of like attraction for a particular period, especially in the summer, and if it actually fits right. So it's there, but it's not the main thing. So I'm kind of on both sides, basically. That's just the main point of my submission. But yeah, I'm done. That's all.
Yeah, real quick, just like Lion, you're making a different argument. You're also
Q,
making a
Q,
different
I
Q,
argument.
didn't
Q,
make a
Q,
different argument
Q,
at all.
Q,
You
Q,
fail
Q,
to
Q,
listen.
Q, 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 Q. Let's do. I think it was. Damn, I forgot it was King or
It
Mr.
was
Finley.
me.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was
One mic
me.
on
It
King, and
was
then one mic on King, and then Finley, and then Bradley.
Um, so the American Alliance of Museums reports that U.S. museums contribute 50 billion annually to the economy and support 726,000 jobs. Museums
Finally,
generate about museums generate about 12 billion in tax revenue, local, state, and federal. I think we all agree on the values of having museum and zoos for cultural experiences. At this point, I don't really know what we're arguing since we all agree that they do produce revenue, but those things get funneled back into their institution. I would like to spend the rest of my time to let you know about one of my favorite museums, which is the National Museum of Women Art in DC. I think it's like 4 floors, and they follow the chronology of women in art. I highly recommend it.
thank
All
you,
right.
King.
Next in the queue is Mr. Finley. Mr. Finley.
So I'm gonna say it again, because the argument has changed. Museums are not drawing like
It
tourists,
has not changed. You
the
want it to change.
museums are not
Hold
drawing
on, line.
tourists like the argument is being made. And
you
I'm gonna tell
lost.
you, I'm gonna tell you, right? So because I'm very intimately knowledge on like Milwaukee County's like how they gather their data, right? When they gather like economic impact, like some of that stuff is propaganda because they gotta raise money from rich people that live locally. And if rich people are gonna write checks and put their names on stuff, right? You know what I'm saying? They need to know that people are coming to see it. And so, for example, and if you look at like start Googling like Milwaukee's museums and this art museum, like they're struggling, right? They're struggling. But if you look at like their county's website and they talk about the economic impact and the visitors, like some of that stuff's freaking inflated. Some of that stuff's inflated, but a lot of that stuff is like schools coming to visit, like from all over the state that do come down there to visit. Like all those numbers are included in that impact, right? Because yeah, schools spend a lot of money coming down to the schools, and a lot of those students spend money. And again, there's artsy people that go visit, but they include all of that in the economic impact. Because if you look deeper into like because their zoo is struggling, and they're going to put there's one big number. They're going to take a conglomerate of the zoo and all the tourism and come up with this number, and then they're going to kind of try to divide it up and give each like a bigger number to make it look like there's this big economic impact. Because again, they need donors, and if those rich people are going to write checks, they got to know that people are coming to it. And I'm going to come into the place, right, or believe that they're coming to it. But I'm going to land with this point. Two pieces just to kind of reiterate a point. One, look at the individual institutions' performance, number one. And number two, dang it, I forgot my last freaking point. And this argument has definitely changed because now we're
It
talking
has
about
not.
landmarks. We're talking about get the landmarks out of there then. Get the landmarks out of there. I'll leave it there.
All
You
right.
that you're not none of you
So
dumbasses
wait,
is
I'm
Next
next
in
in
the
the
understanding
queue.
the
queue.
So
Next
question.
in the
I
queue. Hold on, hold
yeah,
on, hold on. Next in the queue is Brad. After Brad,
yep,
we'll let Lion respond. Everybody's been
yeah.
talking to Lion, so Lion goes
Yeah,
next
but
after
that
Brad.
chimpanzee is not going to get any respect since he likes to just cut off people. So we've got that one right. Remember, everyone had to stay silent for that fucking monkey brain fucking fallacy, and then all of a
Keep your
sudden he had
father
to
out
get
of
it.
this.
See, he can't
Come
fucking
on,
shut up.
Lion. I told him to be
Uh,
quiet for you.
see, but I'm not going to do it for you. I don't respect you. I think you're a fucking piece of shit. But the museums. Let's take a look at this. Let's go even further because I want to get back to the original argument, which was museums and zoos make money. So the Cairo Museum, which is where I have to do, I talk this way because we know Lion doesn't know how many continents are out there, doesn't know how many oceans, and his intelligence only exceeds beyond third grade, maybe. But Cairo Museum, which is next to the fucking pyramids in Egypt, fucking lost. You want to know how much? 92% over the course of the last 10 years. This includes a big spike during the pandemic, but it also never regained. This is a state run facility that has been subsidized since its creation by the government. No one is going to Egypt to go to the Cairo Museum. No one. No one, even with the number of visitors. Because, yes, while there are visitors to areas, it doesn't mean they're necessarily going to it. There's no way to really track what's going on, just like Paris estimates its numbers, because you have people that land in Paris and they assume that there's going to be traffic there. The Louvre can do it by counters, but a lot of people aren't really going to the Louvre. They're not spending fucking money. And then usually, most of the tickets to the Louvre are on package deals, which you get those all the fucking time. The same thing with the pyramids. You get the shuttle right out of the Mexico tourist spot, whatever that one that's close to it. They'll shuttle you there for free as part of your fucking grand experience package. Here's the pyramids of Mexico. Climb up it, come back and down. There's no profit there. That money isn't going back to fucking Mexico. That money is going back to the cruise line or to the Sandals Resort or to whoever it is, and only a small portion is going back to the fucking Mexican government, if any of all. From that excursion, nothing is going. Because again, Lion, you are just retarded and you don't understand it. You stretched your arguments and you get up on stage and then say, I have to explain everything. I'm smart. You're not smart. No one thinks you're smart. No one ever said Lion was intelligent. All anyone has said was that you're some fucking North American pavement ape mentality that should have been swallowed or at least anally fucked while you were in prison if you got that far. But your uneducated ass can't fucking pull fucking rational thoughts up. You can read words, but you cannot conceptualize or articulate the meaning behind words, facts, or figures. So give us some more of your rambling nonsense. Give us some more of your bullshit. And oh, King, it is a wonderful museum, but unfortunately, your museum is also operating in the red. It is also on decline, and it needs a lot of subsidization. And they're asking for more grants from the U.S., which I doubt is going to happen now.
No, they're
Uh,
not going to give it now. Mm-mm.
I would say they're probably going to fall in the same peril as every other museum. Even
That'd
the
be so sad.
Smithsonian, even the Smithsonian is operating in the fucking red. So it's like and it has huge amounts of collections, and they rotate and do things all the time, and they're still operating negatively, and they have fucking huge endowments, money, and funds coming in from all taxpayers. So I'm confused why Lion has a hard concept of understanding this. That yes, they are important areas. They're centers that we should preserve. We should keep national parks. We should keep national monuments. We should keep museums, science museums, all of these other things. People are not flocking to them in droves. They're not doing it. And it's part of my taxes as a conservative. I'm pretty much willing to give up. I will pay for those areas. I will continue to pay. I send endowments. I'm listed on them. I give money. Every year I donate money because I think these areas are fucking important. But for people like Lion who don't even give, this is retarded. This conversation is retarded when he says they're profit generators. They are not. Nobody is. That's why animal farms and preserves in Africa get most of a lot of their support financially from guess what? Some world organizations, but also trophy hunting. They have to resort to trophy hunting to keep employed, to keep fucking funds going in a lot of those game preserves. And as sad as that fucking is, that's the truth. And you have to come up with something like that to get people to go to these places. So, Lion, once again, you've been packed up, you've been found wanting, you've been weighed, measured, and you found a lying, fucking idiotic, moronic retard. Stay retarded, stay fucking sulking on fucking tapioca pudding, and just fucking curl up like a baby and just fucking cry, dude. But I know, take the mic. You're gonna cry and bitch some more right now.
Yeah,
No,
fuck
that
you,
that
That
Lion.
was
the
a
For the
good
way
record, my
that
submission. That was
for the
a
record,
really
hold on,
good
no, no, don't look
submission,
about
Brad.
oh,
Q.
there's a
Almost
queue.
one more
Yeah,
person.
Can
One more
fuck
I
you,
give
person.
a
Lion.
10
Fuck you,
One
second
more
plug
Lion.
person.
for
Yeah,
One more
I was
person.
gonna
Validate?
One
respond.
more
I
person.
was, I
Just
was
one more
supposed to
person.
respond.
Yeah, one more
Yeah,
person
fuck
is
you, Lion.
popcorn. It's hard. Look, one mic online, and
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I'm gonna
Fucking
allow
African Chinese scratcher.
I'm gonna allow Brad one
Be
interruption,
nice, King.
only because line interrupted only one time. So let's keep it at one interruption.
I hate you, Lion.
Besides that, one mic online.
Okay, I'll just start now. Go ahead, Brad. Go ahead, tell us about how I ain't shit and all of that. Go ahead.
Well, Brad wants you to also know that they actually
Wait, hold
have
on.
brought
Let's
Well, one
wait,
mic.
back
wait,
animals
wait.
from extinction just for
Oh my
gaming.
God.
One mic
Hold
online.
on. Let's let this chimp, this fucking dirty ass
Brad, give
crocodile, get his
me
point out.
your
Yeah,
disruption.
I'm
Give
Brad
me pass
Okay.
it to
spokesperson. Yo, fuck
pass
you,
it to me,
Lion.
Brad. Pass it
Okay.
to me, Brad.
I wanna allow the furry cave critter to get his point out. Go ahead, Brad. Before I go
Brad,
ahead.
give me your disruption. Pass it.
All right. So
Lion, Brad hired me to say this. Fuck you, nigga.
all right,
What's
cool.
up?
So, hey, listen. All right, so here's the actual point. I want you all to really pay attention to the conversation. These bastards said that I've moved my positions when I have not. As a matter of fact, I've repeated my exact same position 5 times, and with inside of that position, I repeated that over and over and over again. What these museums actually do. I stayed on it. Here's the point again, you stupid chimp. Museums make money. Did I say that museums are profiting themselves, or is it that the museums generate the tourists and the tourism that brings people there? These clowns said it. First of all, the first thing that these clowns said that that's not true. It's not enough people that come here specifically. No one comes here to these museums at all. You're just making that shit up. And then I presented the evidence in the chat where yeah they do. As a matter of fact, New York's museum actually has 25 million visitors a year, which that actually debunks your entire argument just with that one. Then I
I'm going to
went
use
to.
my time
Oh,
now
go
because
ahead.
I
Yeah,
just
you
wanted
can.
to
Go
show
ahead.
everybody that he
Go ahead.
came on stage and said the St. Louis, this started with the St. Louis Zoo being a profit center for
No,
the
I didn't
entire
say.
city. So that was his original argument. And
Watch.
then again,
Watch him.
he
Watch him
has
now.
toe dance and all
Watch
that.
him.
And
Watch
King,
how you do it. Watch how these niggas
I
move
will
the
accept your
goalposts
offer
away
as
from the
power of
fact.
attorney. And yes, I
All
agree.
right. Yeah. You
Fuck
see how these.
Lion
Hey,
and
this
fuck
is
All
the
all
right,
the
point,
that
ladies
was
and
the
people
one.
gentlemen.
voted
That
him.
was one interruption. All right, one mic
All
online.
right, this is the point. He just did it right there. And so with Flanders and every other weak ass nigga in here. That's the point. You just saw it. You just witnessed it right there. They weren't really listening to the conversation. What these niggas was really doing was just trying to find a way to attack me personally. Why? Because in some instance, maybe every now and then I may, attack them and, attack
Throw me
their
back in the queue.
and they're still a little salty and hurt about the things that I
Put me in
said
the queue.
about them and they mama and all of that other stuff. But you can't really go against the actual points. The point is that the museums are generating the traffic, which brings in the money to the city, state, region, and you can't get away from that. As a matter of fact. The young lady King, she came out the mic and gave you some more information that validates my claim. And what did you clown ass niggas do? You said, fuck what King had to say. No, I'm not listening to that. Because my cousin sister Elroy that lives in Florida, she goes and she does this, so I don't believe it. And as a matter of fact, they make up the numbers. And the reason they make up the numbers without any evidence, I'm not bringing forth any evidence to say that they're making up the numbers. I'm just gonna say and assume that they are because I am not interested in the museums. You are a piece of shit, stupid ass nigga, and that fucking troglodyte right along with you need to go back to the goddamn caves where the fuck you came from. You niggas are a bunch of jealous, low-level, bum-ass niggas, and that's what this is really about. It's not about the museum king or any other new person that just walked in the room. This isn't about that. This is about my dick is bigger than yours. That's what this is. I drive nice cars and I go all over the place and I'm from the hood. And yet I still kick your ass every goddamn day on this app. That's what this is about. That's what this is about. You got nothing to live for. Your kids are grown and they don't want nothing to do with you. Your lady is gone and no other woman want to see your ass. And Flanders, you a loser ass nigga that flies around on planes and you can't even spell your last name properly. You are one of the dumbest niggas in here. You are a one-trick pony. Good for one thing. One thing. And everything else, you're a fucking idiot. And everybody sees it. And you suffer from some sort of ADHD or learning deficiency, just like the rest of these clown ass niggas. That's why I have to constantly keep repeating myself over and over and over again, like I'm the teacher in a remedial class. I am sick and tired of going back and forth with you fucking cave creeps. All you have to do is let niggas get their point out, and then after that, you can respond. At least respond with some sort of evidence that backs up your claim instead of your fucking feelings. I hate you niggas. I really do. I wake up going, no, 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 not anybody but Brad. You know why? Because in some way, I just want you to have peace in your life. I really do. I want you to find peace. I know all of these years you've been passed around. You got to jump from city to city because there's some sort of like, I don't know, pedo listing that you're trying to evade. So you get a little job here, a little job there. But listen, I want you to find peace, you of all. And Flanders, please, Flanders. Wait, listen, Flanders. This is from my heart, really, Flanders. Let's take a breather for a second. Flanders, don't ever cross me, nigga, because all it's gonna bring about for you is more embarrassment and ridicule. And honestly, I'm really that kind of guy that can steal your girl. You should be lucky that I'm married, Flanders. You should be lucky.
Nigga, what?
That's some real shit. That's some real
That's
shit.
so much.
Hold on,
That's
But
so
have
much.
you
hold
seen
on, no,
but
You
have you
hold on,
know
seen
it.
relax.
his
There's two more
girl though?
people. There's two
Yeah,
more people. There's two more people. Relax.
you know it. I know it. And every other clown ass simpleton in this room knows it. And your argument for me is because,
Huey knows.
hey, yeah, and your argument is really that you're mad that some nigga like me, when you was coming up, had you upside down, shaking you for all your money and change, and threw you in the toilet somewhere, and you want to take it out on me. I didn't do it to you, Flanders. I didn't do it to you either, Brad. But I understand your plight and anger
Oh,
too.
don't worry. I'm going to give you another child to raise for
Hold
me.
on,
Yeah,
hold on, hold on, hold on.
I understand your plight too, Brad. You a lame ass nigga that come on Clubhouse and act like a fucking retard so you could get the sympathy of black women because nobody really wants you. Monica don't even want you, nigga. Think about it, Monica. Monica
Hey,
needs a man,
hey, hey, hey.
and she don't want your broke ass. Your trashy, low down, flea carrying bag in a trash can ass. You are a loser, trailer park nigga. You come from Irish trash. You know that? You came over here with fleas and maggots all in your food and your hair. You are a coward by nature. You joined the military to hide behind other niggas to seem like you was some hard nigga. You ain't shit. And everybody can see it, nigga. Real niggas can recognize a warrior, and that ain't you.
You're right. I do recognize a
Hold
real
on, hold
nigger.
on, hold on, hold on, hold on,
You are that
hold on,
nine.
hold
I'll give
on,
you
hold
that.
on,
You're
hold
the
on,
real
hold on,
nigger.
hold on, hold on, hold
That
on.
ain't you. What you are is a vagabond, a scourge of the earth, a walking parasite, the scum between some trailer park kid's sandals because he can't afford shoes. That's you. You've never amounted to anything. And what hurts you the most, all of you, honestly, is that you hear some guy pull his way up from the hood And now he's educating you bastards on getting money. As a matter of fact, you should buy in. Today's ticker symbol is what was it? Oh, that's right. I'm not giving it to you because you are pieces of shit. And you try to bite the hand that feeds you. Just to stop. I'm here to help. I'm not here to hurt you fucking low lifes. Helping. But you might have to take a little bit of verbal abuse from time to time. It's okay. Damn. Get over it. You were wrong. All of you were fucking wrong. And you kept moving your positions. I never moved mine. You did. You moved mine to try to make your position sound to make it sound more sound. But it wasn't. I kept saying that it's a money maker, just like your mother is. Wherever your mother is, she's gonna bring money because she's gonna bring all the Johns. The same way. It makes money. Which is the reason why England brought all of this stolen shit to it. It brings money, you stupid pieces of shit. But you can't hear, and you know why? Because your jealousy won't allow you to hear. And it's sad. I gotta get to work and actually make money myself right now. How about you try it for a change, you broke bitch ass nigga?
All right, next in the queue is Mr. Finley. After Mr. Finley, then Brad. After Brad, then
Yo,
Tim.
I am fucking wheezing.
Why are we repeating the
Yo,
same
yo,
argument points over and over again? Can we evolve this conversation?
yo.
No,
Let the
because
record.
we have to put
Hold
down
on,
the
one mic on Finley.
Neanderthal.
One mic on Finley. Hold on.
Yo. I ain't attacked this dude all morning. But since he want to take swings, I take swing. I swing back. Yo, King, you there?
Yes, sir. What's
Hey,
good, family? What's good with
you know why cats like lying
Yes,
got so much
sir. I'm here.
got so much unnecessary beef with me, fam. While his dumb butt couldn't get in college, like I was teaching his girl biology, but it was a hands on lesson. You feel me? And he
it?
never
Getting
knew it.
that
He
work
never
done, right?
knew it. Getting that work done, fam.
Teaching her how
So
to swap DNA, right?
exactly. So he angry at me, fam. You know what I'm saying? He angry. But so I'm not even gonna waste my time like fighting with this dude. But he said examples. So I'm about to name drop. I am friends with both Chris Abele and the former county executive Markey and the current county executive David Carl, who's running for governor. Shout out to my boy. So I know how this works, fam. I
Hey,
know how these local
that's my boy
municipalities do it.
too.
I
Why do
know
we
how.
know each other?
I know how this works. He's his picture's actually on my Instagram, King, because we friends.
Oh
Not
yeah.
saying you don't know him. Not saying you don't know him,
We're
but we
gonna have to have a
friends.
conversation. We're gonna have to have a
Um,
conversation.
I actually his wife and I went to the same church together.
Okay,
And
let's not
I
dox
helped.
each
I
other.
helped.
Let's not dox each other. Let's not dox each
I'm just
other.
saying. I'm just saying. I don't care about being dogs. I'm not worried about that. I'm just trying to shoot back at this dude lying. So any event, I know how these local municipalities like do their estimates, and Brad said it right. Like it's an estimate. They don't freaking some places do counters with respect to their to like crowds, right, or visitors, but most of it is estimate. And Brad is also correct because I actually travel the globe, right, as does Brad, right, lying in every bit out of East St. Louis. So he's right. They do in those estimates. They do gather some of their numbers by these package deals that people never take freaking advantage of. And he is conflating landmarks with with freaking museums and stuff like that. But he don't know. He don't know this stuff, right? So when he says give an example, I did give a freaking example, right? I've said in freaking county board meetings to figure out how to do this stuff, and even knowledge pointed out how the freaking Florida museums and stuff are largely empty. Folks ain't coming to freaking Florida museums. They're coming here for the freaking attractions, man. They going to Miami for South Beach. You know what I'm saying? And the tourist scene down there, they're not going there. Ain't nobody going there for the freaking museums. Cats aren't coming to freaking Orlando for the freaking museums, right? They're coming here for the freaking Disney, SeaWorld, Universe. They're coming for that stuff, fam. But I'm gonna leave it there though. But Lion, don't be mad at me because I was teaching your girl biology, fam. That's not my fault. You should have stayed paid attention to class.
Right, fuck nigga.
I gotta
Wait, for,
donate to
for, for the for the for the record,
his
Lion
running
left
for
as
governor, Finley.
Lion left as soon as he finished talking.
Yeah,
Just for
cause
those who
he
don't know.
pussy.
Next in the queue, I think it's Brad. Oh, wait, what? Wait, was it Brad?
What are we queuing
No,
It was
anymore?
I
We're
mine.
forgot.
really talking in circles about
Hold
the
on,
same
I
thing
wrote
that
it
we
in the
all
queue.
agree
Hold
on.
on.
Hold on.
Yeah, next after Finley's Brad. After Brad is Tim. Then it's
So we
open
can
table.
involve it because, like, again, I think we've all proven the fact that Lion's just a retarded fucking idiot. Like he said, he's the real nigger from the hood. He should go back to it because that's the only place he was he was actually special. I mean, you had Finley teaching his girl biology. I think it explains a lot of things. And then you had King actually, like, becoming daddy. So I get it. Lion's angry. He's not getting any. I mean, it's all par for the course. It's hard when you have like someone like Lion who's a lot he's got lot lizards. That's all he's done. He's got to go pay for some girl to fucking pay attention to him, and he goes into his little truck and he sits there and goes, "I'm hauling Walmart toilet paper, so please be gentle with it," and that's it. But I'd like to evolve the conversation, like King said. I think the bigger question is there a future for a lot of these museums and a lot of these well, the natural landmarks will always be there unless like you get fucking idiots that want to sell it off. And there are some Republican fucking idiots that want to sell off fucking natural landmarks. I think is retarded. But like I don't know because you look at places like Niagara Falls. The Niagara Falls Museum on the American side generates virtually nothing. There's a Native American museum in there. It looks like a turtle. They call it the turtle. It generates zero income. In fact, I think they had to close prior to the pandemic multiple times. Generates absolutely nothing. The Met went through serious renovations and is now more of a political party event place and hoping that it gets charity balls. It does more along those lines. Than it actually receives profits from patrons or anything like that, and it trades exhibits at revenue sharing. So they'll sell a piece of work and they'll say, "All right, a museum in Atlanta, we need like $1,000 to make rent this month. Can you give it this, and we'll let you display, I don't know, all of Renoir's paintings for the month or something like that." So there's a lot of flipping around in the museums themselves, and a lot of the artwork that people would want to return to countries, I actually wouldn't be opposed to it. I could give a shit less, but it's not going to drive up revenue dollars because we all know the minute that it goes to, I don't know, say one of these countries like Kenya or how about Somalia, you're going to return all that artwork. Go ahead, do it. It's going to disappear. You'll never see it again. You won't. The same thing happened in World War II. We let fucking divisions happen. We lost artwork. We're still missing great pieces. You should really look into like what has really been lost throughout the centuries because of wars, tribalism, fucking just plain old burning. Notre Dame, you'll never see what Notre Dame truly was. It was burnt. It was done. No one's going to it today. No one really went to it before. It was an icon, but you're not you if you haven't seen Notre Dame before what 2016 or not 2016, I mean, I'm sorry, 2020, then you missed it. It's done. You will never see Notre Dame. So I mean, you're all these great places that people want to say steal or whatever. Everybody steals. Every country has stolen artifacts, stolen cultures, stolen this, and they're just, I don't know. But really, I would like to find a way that we could keep these places going in some fashion, or everybody get on board and agree that we should keep some of these.
Um, Real quick, just
Can I go
raw
after
numbers.
you?
Yes, please. So even Lion's
Wait,
point
Tim was
regarding
next. Tim was next. Hold on. Tim was the last one.
real quick,
He's the last one. The last one. After him, popcorn. Popcorn. All day.
Well,
I like
Matt
to
will
go.
be after Tim then. Let Matt go after
Mine.
Tim.
I had timing on a joke that's not going to work now, so I'll give Matt my time.
thank you, brother. Even if Lion were to make an argument that museum drive tourism, so Paris, France, is the most visited places on earth. It received 100 million tourists in 2023. You know how many of those people went to the Louvre? 8.9 million people. So that's less than 10%. So they don't even drive tourism. More people see the Eiffel Tower than they go into the Louvre, right? So museum also are not big tourist attraction because they are boring. People don't really like those places. Only very few people go. And I know with the advent of Instagram and social media, some people went to take their pictures, and that's how you get a bunch of people going in front of the fucking pyramid. Like Brad says, the museum in Egypt has never recorded a profit, never in its existence. 109 years old, which also was created by the British. Let's keep that in mind. And I think the original point that started the conversation was some civilization are better at keeping history alive than other civilization. It is very important to have the British Museum to do that because they don't generate money. Brad just mentioned the Met went into a $70 million renovation. They are not going to ever recoup that money. They're never going to recoup that money. But the heritage that is stored inside the Met is for all of us to enjoy and see, and it is beneficial for us and humankind and humanity. And Brad, I love everything you said regarding, your earlier submission because Lion was totally wrong, and I hope everybody in the room understands that.
It's Kings go, right?
Yeah, that's kind of, I hate to say it, but like I think, like it is partly true that like the state of affairs in the world is that, some of these countries won't be able to preserve these things, given the conflicts, and the conflicts oftentimes created and generated by like white supremacists, who've divided countries and things like that. So it's sad and disappointing, but you're right. Like I would not return something to Mogadishu right now. Not probably a good time, especially when you think about how radicals, you know, um, take to extent of destroying these things. Like you said, like I think there was some structure in Jordan that is completely obliterated now by Al Qaeda when they were going on their like tour of destroying different artifacts and stuff like that. And I also agree that like there are a lot of museums that are kind of just hella boring. Like, why would I walk around a museum and look at a picture, not even like a painting, right? Not even something, but like a photograph of Pearl Harbor, right? Like that's not fun and interactive. Like the last museum I went to was the one about the Tulsa massacre in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And that was probably one of the other really good museums that I've gone to because they made it really interactive. It wasn't just pictures of like people being murdered. It tells you like a whole story and you walk through a story with it, as well as like the Holocaust Museum in DC. They do like a really good job of making it interactive so that it's interesting. But when's the last time any of you actually went to a fucking zoo? The only people I know who go to zoos are people with kids who have run out of activities to take their children to. But that doesn't mean that all of these things are not important to value. I just think that right now, like the thing that we need to be focused on is the erasure of history because the Donald Trump administration is trying to do that right now. That's where our attention should be focused on.
You mean like when they take monuments down and rename things, erasing history like that?
Monica, that's actually a really good point that you made. Recently we had a conversation at work about that. Like there's a way that you can take down a monument and put it somewhere where we're not like glorifying somebody who held like slaves or was violent to Native American people or what have you, right? Like there's a way that you can preserve history without destroying it. And so there's a conversation around that.
I agree. I just wanted to say, like, for instance, one of the big beauties of being able to travel globally, like Finley and others, and I'm sure a lot of you have, is like when you go and see these places, you realize how small you are. Like if you go to the redwood forest, you're gonna find out you feel fucking small compared to those trees. You're not there. When you go up in
That's a fact.
yeah, right. Like you're like, whoa, fuck. You go up into the Rockies, another one. You go up into the Swiss Alps and you're looking down on your skis and you're like, hey, I might break a leg on this one, or your snowboard. Yeah, you might because it's the Swiss Alps. You're small in comparison. And like there are so many wonderful places. Like go to Petra, Jordan. You'll love Petra City. You'll love it's the canyons are fucking amazing. Trust me, you've seen them. You've seen them on TV before, but they're I trust me, they're beautiful in person. It's one of the most glorious places. It used to be an incense trade route. Literally, the entire city sells incense. I think it smells the same too. So if you're big into that stuff, it's right there. But I'm telling you, the travel industry and the tourism industry, the primary focus, like for the U.S. at least, is national parks. I would say air travel. That's your big one, and then you have your cruise ships. Those are your generators for tourism, and the cruise ships, all of these like Mediterranean places, all the Caribbean. What else? The Norse countries. Going through the fjords and all that shit with Viking River cruises and all that shit. They're the tourism industry is really dependent on cruise ships. I believe for the most part. I'd have to look at the numbers, but I know the Caribbean relies heavily. Like Puerto Rico would not thrive at all if it wasn't for a cruise ship. Like that's how bad it is. Same thing with like St. Croix, St. Martinique, St. Kitts. Like these islands just aren't going to thrive. Bahamas. without tourism there, that place dies, and no one goes to the Bahama Museum. Like, I'm sorry, they're just not going there. They're not flocking to the Bahamas to go to the museum. Like I said, they're going there to get sun, drunk, and fuck. That is it. That's what you have.
Are we ready for a new topic?
I would say so. I mean, I think we've belabored the point, and we're all in agreement that Lion just doesn't want to say that he's incorrect.
And I will say this too, though, and I'm gonna be honest, a lot of people of my specific skin tone don't have the education or the skill to operate some of these museums. And I can't be any more honest. There's a lot of specialty field that we are not partaking into. Conserving some of these artifacts require a lot, and people are not going into this field. So in order for you to move a museum from or an artifact from one place that has a specialty people that can handle the artifact to a place that doesn't have it, would be a detriment. Some of these artifacts are organic. They are made out of wood, so they require special care, special cleaning, special room, special lighting, special building materials, special cooling, special heating. All these things needs to be done, and it costs a lot of money. So it's very possible a poor country who has a lot of quote unquote this heritage, they're not going to be able to maintain them for a long time.
Yo,
And
Matt.
and it kind of
Until
sucks
you made
too.
that, until real quick, King. Matt, until you made that point, because I was watching an interview because these countries obviously are pleading for their stuff back, and one of the guys, I want to say in the UK, said that specifically. He basically said that they wouldn't take care of it, right? And I ain't gonna lie, I took slight at that, but again, an uneducated point of view, right? You knowing history as well as you do, and knowing that, like that totally changes my viewpoint. And so I agree. I agree with what that guy said.
Yeah, one of the things that I want to do that's like on my bucket list is like go visit the Vatican because they somehow have been able to preserve like all of these crazy ass things, including like the sisters in the Vatican have maintained like all of the threads that are like pretty much in existence. Like they have every single colored thread. I know that's a weird, nerdy fact, but like it is sad. And you're right, Matt. Like it's sad that they created a system in which we can't even preserve our own things. But if you do want it to be available, then you're gonna have to like give it up. So maybe, I like the idea of like doing tours, like if there's a safe way to tour things so that people in their own countries can view the things that were created by their own people. Like there's an opportunity for collaboration there. But then again, you're going to be, expending a lot of money to do that.
So King, so this is the part I think people disagree and maybe take offense because it's got to always be a race thing. Like the Cairo Museum, yes, it has a lot of input from like Oxford and other universities around, and there's museum directors and people that go in there. It's primarily ran by the state of Egypt, and it's put at the helm of the Egyptian people. They are African, last I checked, but they decide like what they're going to do, and they have been preserving documents. Now, granted, they've had turbulence, they've had problems, they've had thefts, fires, all sorts of things. They've had destabilization. There's plenty of other places too. There's museums in. I'm trying to think of another. We could go down to. Well, no, that wouldn't be a good one because that one burnt down too. Fuck. But like, if you're gonna go to a place like Ghana, you're not gonna put it. You're not gonna send a priceless work of art because one of two things are gonna happen. One, it's gonna end up in some sheik's bedroom, or two, it's going to be burnt down. It's going to be destroyed or ripped apart. And that's just what happens in these places. So, like Mogadishu, you're not going to send back a lot of the artifacts that came out of there because it's just, all right, here, they're in a museum, they're in safekeeping, but you're not going to send it back to the city and say, here you go. Because we know that those places are just going to sell it off and it's going to enter in the private market. And here's another crazy fact. surprisingly you would be caught like agree you would just be shocked at how many nations have had conquering and whatnot, and how many pieces of art or priceless works have been sold on the black market and then eventually found their way to a museum because they were purchased from the black market or
That's a
seized
fact.
from
That's a
it,
fact.
so like it's not that white man came in and stole all these things. A lot of the times the fucking motherfuckers in charge sold that shit to other private collectors, and they was seized now from a museum, and technically they don't have to give it back. It doesn't belong back to, because your country sold it to a fucking sheik, a fucking rich white man, or another rich black man to pay for fucking guns to go kill another group of people. So I don't know what to tell you. Once that happens, I'm not on the side of returning that piece of art to the country. I'm like, you sold it. That was it. You had your chance. You fucked up. I don't really care at that point. Now you want it back, pay the museum for it. Get it back that way.
As expected, a
Okay, check
white
it
man
out.
will,
Let me
as expected, a white man will turn around and claim that all of this shit was given away or given to somebody else, rather than actually just pointing out the fact
Actually, I didn't say that at
that
all. But
or,
my
you
or,
guys,
or
my my
sold or
my
sold
my
or sold for
I
my
or
didn't
sold
say
for
that. But you cried.
or
wait,
sold for
lion,
guns. Hey,
lion,
Masada,
you're not
hold
an
on.
African.
So
You're not an
Masada, hold
African.
on.
Let me speak. You are not an
Or
African. You're not one
sold
of us.
or
Let me
sold
speak.
for guns.
Let me
Hey,
Dang, we
speak.
were
look, you
doing
didn't.
so good. We were
Yeah,
doing
we
so good.
were until these niggas start getting in their feelings every time they hear my voice. That's the point. You all gotta see the pattern.
You're right. We
These
just don't like bitch ass
every
niggas.
time you're
That's it.
scared of me.
Yeah,
All right,
you
look.
sound like a
I think
woman.
it.
You sound like a
I
woman.
think you
Let
know
a
your
man
hey
speak. Let him
your
speak.
father is a woman. They castrated him. The Arabs did. You bastard. Shut up.
Okay,
It,
fine, fine.
yeah,
Let
yeah, yeah.
another
I
man
know.
speak.
Shut the fuck up. Here's the point. I think it's really strange
Angry black man. Sound like
how
an
you
angry black man.
always constantly
I'm rooting
try
on
to
Musanda here.
how you always constantly trying to rationalize theft and genocide and all these other things when it's your people involved in
Why are
this
you
shit.
triggered? You're not an
But
African.
then, but
Why are
then
you
on
triggered?
the,
You're not
but
triggered.
then but then on the same side of the argument, whenever the shit is being done to your people, somebody decides to come into your country and bomb your shit or extort money from you. China's trying to rob you and fuck up your economy. All of a sudden, you're the biggest person who's screaming for justice, and we need all of these things done. We need to shut down all of these. You're one of the biggest racist hypocrites on fucking planet Earth. And it's the saddest fucking part about it is you got these coon clown ass black niggas in this room, these fucking chimps siding right along with you. We already know how to fuck that shit from God, not Ghana. What was that country I was talking about? Benin got to England. The white people admitted to it. It was during the invasion where they came in and actually stole the shit, and it was some
This
motherfucker
motherfucker's
an,
still fucking wrong on
Have
another
you been to
everything.
Benin? Have you been to
another
Benin? Do you even know
another
where Benin is?
you don't
He
Is
have
it
didn't
to.
an
even
Hey,
African?
listen to the argument. He just
hey,
wanted
hey,
to get
hey,
his
hey, hey,
fucking
shut up,
It
shut up,
doesn't
shut
even
up.
piggyback
matter.
on
Thank
Come
you,
on, man.
He must not
thank
have
you,
enough
I appreciate it. Hey,
money
dirty
from
African.
let him
Rothenberger.
finish so we can finish the
Yeah, hey,
conversation.
yeah, hey,
Let him
smelly
finish.
African, shut
Now
up.
you need to mentor.
Yeah, you don't have to go to Benin to know what happened in Benin, you idiot. So here's the point: we already have the
You don't even
history.
know what Benin
Hey,
is. Imagine.
Musada.
Do
Hey,
you know what
Hey,
Benin is, Brit?
hey, Mustafa. Please shut up. So what we do know is they already recorded the groups of people who came in and stole the artifacts. And they sold it to a bunch of different private people, and then the private people gave it to
Why are you
England.
like crying, man? You sound
And
pathetic, man. You sound like you're crying.
and Musada, hey Musada, please. I know it's hard. You're used to like
You're
talking in a
pathetic, man.
Musada.
You're pathetic, man. Shut
I
up, man.
know you're used to communing with the
All
fucking
right, all
Not
right,
baboons.
all
even an
right, all
African. This is the
right,
weird thing.
all
You're not even
right,
one of us.
All right,
all
I
right, all
know.
right. Lion, you got the lender.
All right, I'm trying to, but these emotional, hurt, faggot ass
Fucking
niggas won't
land.
let me.
Stop fucking going off, or
All
otherwise
you
I'm gonna
gotta
get
do
mad
is
at you.
shut
I'm
up.
never gonna let you
So
shut up. I'm
yeah, yeah,
never
yeah,
gonna
and I'll
shut up.
do the same to
Land the
you.
fucking plane.
You're not
Land the
making a
fucking
point.
plane.
You land a
Land the
fucking
fucking
plane.
plane.
Land a fucking
Land your
plane. Land a
fucking
fucking
plane.
plane. Land a fucking plane.
Land it now.
Land a
You ain't
fucking
got
plane.
shit.
Land. You
Shut
don't
the
tell me
fuck
what to
up.
do. Hey, shut up,
You fucking
cracker.
thing. Here,
Shut
otherwise
up,
I'll give you
cracker.
another
Hey,
fucking
hey,
kid for you.
cracker. Cracker, shut up.
Motherfucker.
Shut up, you fucking flea
You ain't
bag.
got nothing. Shut the fuck up, you
Your
ignorant
mother
fucking
ain't got
cow. You
nothing except
fucking
some
ain't.
niggas
Go back to
come.
fucking twisting your
Your
nipples with
mother
fucking
ain't got
Asian
nothing except
Mexicans.
some
We
niggas
know you
come.
ain't
Can
fucking
we
Your
wait
anything
until
else.
mother ain't
after
got nothing.
12,
Jesus
please? Can we go
Christ.
back
He's
to
such a hurt
12?
little child.
No,
Anyway,
you're
listen. You're so hurt. Just stop. Here's
You're
the
just
point.
such a broke little
Every single,
bitch.
hey,
Can't even
every,
fucking
hey,
get it up. You know what?
every
I don't
single,
give a fuck anymore.
you
I'm
is
gonna go
hurt,
home,
And
hurt y'all.
relax.
oh, not ready for a new topic. Okay.
Every single instance, this bastard comes off the mic and screams that these people just handed over everything that they had willingly for some guns and some
Not even
water or
when I said
some
this shit, but you
some
go
other
ahead and
stupid
keep
ass shit.
going on
So
that.
some other stupid
You
shit that
can't even
doesn't make any
fucking
sense.
make
He's
that.
trying to rationalize and justify the theft that they have done to countless countries and regions all over
Matt,
the world,
Matt
and
made the
that's
original point.
We
uh,
should have
There's a
raided
yeah.
and
queue in the
fucking
And
burnt and
chat
I,
in
killed all
case
I
you
of
guys
already,
want to
those.
pay attention to it.
I
Let's
already went over it. Thank you.
all right, enough. I think Lion, I think you make the point that yes, articraft was stolen. And I'm gonna say, yes, two things can be true at the same time. It is very well known that there were looting that took place. Yes, the Benin bronze were stolen out of Benin. Yes, the
Thank you.
Babylon Gate. Yes,
That's
the
all that was
Babylon
point.
Gate was taken. Yes, the Babylon Gate was taken out of Iraq. Yes, we know that. That's not. I mean, Albert Schumann is famous for a
Did
reason. The
Brad
guy
know
was a
that?
looter. Lombardi was famous for a reason. Those guys were looter.
Did
However,
Brad know that
hold
though?
on a
Is that
second.
what
Hold on a
Brad? Is
second.
that what
No,
Brad said?
you messing up my point, right? However, I can also say that the local museum in Peru saved a lot of artifacts from being in the black market. This man was a very rich man from Spain who bought this thing on the black market and put them in a museum and save it for the Peruvian people. So two things can be true at
That's
the same
one.
time.
That's one.
It's
But
not one.
what did Brad say
We
though?
can
What
listen.
did Brad
That
say? What did Brad
hold
say?
on a second. That is if you are in the art world, if you are in the museum world, everybody knows there's a lot of looting going on. There's a lot of
We
selling in
already
the
know
black
that. Carmen
market
San
that happen.
Diego. We
So
know.
with that being said, it's not like what Brad said is not wrong.
What did
However,
Brad?
yes, there
No.
was looting,
What was he saying?
and furthermore, if you were to ever travel to England and go see those bone statues, they do detail how they got them. They're not hiding it. They are not saying that they created it. They are not saying that they were gifted to them. The British do tell you how they acquire some of these things. It's not like a big secret that nobody knows. The museum will tell you how
Hey,
they got it.
what did Brad say, Matt? Which
No,
caused me to come off the mic.
What Brad said, a lot of art stuff get into the black
No.
market,
What did he
and
say?
that is the truth.
Who?
And that
How
is
did
the
he?
truth.
Hey, no.
And that
What
is
did he
the
say?
truth.
So,
What
so
did he say
Matt,
about the
Like
you're
there's
specific
a
saying
group?
lot
he
of
just
stuff
wanted to
in
yell,
museum.
What did he
Yeah,
say?
there
he
are
Hold on a
didn't
people
even
second.
know
waiting
what
to
I
speak.
Hold
said.
If
on,
you could
hold on,
calm yourself.
Lion. There's a lot of stuff that are in museum today that were rescued from the
This
black
is a
market. A
vague.
lot of,
We're not
especially
making an argument,
Egyptian artifacts, they were rescued
Matt.
from the black
That's not what
market.
he said, and you know it.
Especially, we have tons of artwork in
Hey,
Haiti that were rescued from the black market after looting. So yes, museums do play a role into rescuing this thing and saving them for humanity.
hey,
I don't see your point here.
what did Brad say? Don't worry about my point. What was Brad's point?
I'm not.
I
It's
You're
just a
accept
avoiding
very
Brad,
that.
little thing.
Brad,
You're,
Brad didn't
Brad
say
you're,
was
anything
adding,
wrong.
Brad was adding to Matt's point.
no,
Like,
he
like
was
that's the
not.
part. Yes, he was. You didn't even
No.
hear
Oh
that.
my
You didn't
God,
even
you're
hear
such a coon.
Matt.
You're
Matt,
Yeah,
such a
Matt.
other
coon.
people are
No,
waiting
I.
to
You know what?
speak. I'm
I
gonna
really want.
no, I'm gonna hand the mic to Musanda and then Brad, and then you can go Finley.
I just really want to bring. You know what? I want segregation back. I changed my
I don't
mind.
care.
I want it.
Musanda, did you want to speak?
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm in the mall right now. Just listening. But nah, man, I don't know why this guy cares so much. He's not even an African. Mike is right. If the Africans wanted that shit back, they would declare war. They wouldn't bitch and whine about it. You sound like you're never raised by a man, bro. Like, what is words gonna help you with? To be a man, shouldn't cry and whine and bitch like a fucking woman. Bro, but bro, why don't you say you're sorry for colonization? Like, bro, you clearly didn't have a father in your life.
Oh, so can I speak?
Like,
Okay.
go
Okay,
ahead.
so two things, right? About whatever Brad was saying. I mean, some of these artifacts, they're not even supposed to be art, right? It's supposed to be, I mean, I don't even know why you guys call it artifact or art or anything of that nature. Some of them are just stuff that belong to certain kind of families, actually specific families. So they don't belong in a museum. They belong to be in those families' rituals or whatever, right? So I don't agree with the fact that some family will just willfully get rid of something that actually
Thank you.
is a part of their history. Now, when you say some of those like art that you actually I'm call European buys, in like in general. It's just some stuff that they do down the street and sell it back to you guys for a lot more money most of the time. And it happens a lot because the real stuff, because they already learned from past mistakes, so they actually keep it, inside and just do a replica and then sell it to you guys. So if you guys are actually giving money for a piece of wood, that's your fucking problem. um, yeah, that's what I want to say. So a lot of whatever Brad was saying is actually false. Like, yeah, I don't
Dude,
know why
your
he's
argument.
talking
Wait,
like
wait,
that.
wait. Your argument is
No,
that they're
so
selling.
Brad lent Yuriba his time. So we're gonna go to
No, I
Brad
didn't.
and then
He just came off mic, and I was like, all right, fine, I'll go after him.
okay, so he had asked like 3 minutes, like three to
Well,
five minutes
I
ago,
go
so
out to
James
Brad.
got yeah, go on.
Yeah, so my argument is that the museums save a lot of places, a lot of pieces from the black fucking market, and not it wasn't it's black because it's not fucking anything to do with fucking Hebrew Israelites like Lion, none of that, or the nigglets he wants to reproduce. So I'm fucking done with this shit. Like I have so much black fatigue from people like Lion, I can't take it anymore. So I
Then
don't give a fuck.
go.
You know what? That's why we're building White Towns. And I'm going to send his ass and I'm going to support any kind of thing reparations, equal rights, fucking HBCU funding. I want to oppose that shit 100% because clearly none of that shit has worked to educate people like Lion. And they seem to be the loudest
I'm
ones in the
more
room.
intelligent
And
than
again,
you, moron.
so I'm not going to be patient. I'm just going to constantly interrupt every time he speaks. And I'm just going to keep going on since he can't fucking control himself because nobody else wants to confront Lion and say you are full of shit. You don't know what you're talking about. Nothing you say has actually there. You haven't won a single debate. You haven't won a single argument, and none of your argumentation or supporting fucking opinion pieces that you post in the fucking chat from some dark web Reddit thing actually makes sense. And I get it now when I sit there and I hear people say, you know what? This is what we see. And when they post it on social media, you know what they're doing? They're posting Lion and his fucking family. The entire fucking brothers, sisters, mothers, whoever else. That's who's on that fucking Instagram. When you see that black woman saying, oh, I didn't do nothing, it's fucking related to Lion. That's who you have. You have that shit. That's Lion. Like, holy fucking shit. The motherfucker can't make an argument. The motherfucker's inbred as hell. It can't fucking. I can't believe that the city of St. Louis. Thank God they removed him because at least St. Louis, a beautiful city like that, a gateway to the fucking Midwest, fucking got rid of Lion. I get why Kali can't stand you, why nobody can't stand you, why you're a truck driver and you have no life. You know what? You should honestly. Everybody's been hoping for the day that you just take the shotgun in your mouth. That's the day that everybody's going to pray for. I don't even believe in God, but I hope God does that. I don't fucking care because the world would be better off with a lot less lines because your fucking type are the reason those motherfucking art pieces are out in the fucking museums because you fucking Geritol complete fucking pussy obese looking motherfuckers with your fake fucking teeth couldn't fucking manage a museum, couldn't preserve artworks, and sold them for fucking what? Fucking 40 and some blunts. That's what you did. That's who you are. You sold it for MD 2020, thinking you were going to own some shit and then buying a bottle of Boone's Farm to try to knock up some hood rats. That's what you tried to do. And the only thing you got is bitching now that you're a victim. No, most of the art pieces actually from around the world came from being the black market. Either fucking world leaders wanted to sell that shit or Hitler conquered it and kept it for his private collection. And we're still unearthing shit all around fucking Europe, under which he did it. Guess what? We're also unearthing a shit ton of Egyptian things from all over the globe, including into Asia and including into African countries, which had no purpose in being in fucking Egypt to go steal and grave rob themselves. But you know what? Hey, hats off to finding a fucking piece of a vase in fucking Ghana. I'm not sure why it was down fucking there, but apparently they needed to have it. And it was definitely Egyptian. But go ahead. Nothing you said made any sense. All I said is that the museums get a lot of shit from the black markets because motherfuckers like you will sell it off to go get your fucking blunts. And that's it. And if the only fucking nigger that has ever been on the stage is you, Lion. Only you. You are the only one. I can disagree vehemently with Louis. And I do often, but he's nowhere near as low class as you. There is no one on Clubhouse as low class as you. Absolutely none. None can even come close to the depths of shit that you live in order to fucking equal your mind. How anyone could tolerate you more than 5 minutes, I have no idea. You are literally a herpes fucking cyst on the stain of the world. You're the reason wars exist because motherfuckers like you who are pussies that can't ever stand up have to sit down there and cry like a bitch and cry so loud that people get fucking maddening listening to your dumbass. You hate everybody in this room, yet you come back every time and think somehow you own. You have never won a debate. You have never been respected. You never will be. You don't
Terrence,
deserve
you're
any.
gonna cut
And
it
every
right
time I
now.
see you, I will bitch smack you down where you belong, little boy. Back in the fields and back cleaning floors.
Finley was waiting to speak. Did you let good? Okay, go Finley.
No, I was cool with letting Brad land. Yeah, Lion don't be knowing the hell he talking about. He will argue you down, and then to the other dude, dog, it's your argument that people are selling replicas and the experts don't know what the hell they're like a replica, fam. That's your argument, like, dude, y'all don't. This is funny, but when people make those dumb claims, right? If they when they ignore nuance, right? When they ignore the fact that two things can be true at the same time, that lets me know they don't know what the hell they're talking about. But I'm just gonna leave it there. I'm just gonna freaking leave it there. And yeah, I've been telling y'all the line know what the hell he's talking about. His proof is always a freaking opinion, and he'll start an argument, right? He'll either present an unarticulate argument, right? Then when you're proving him wrong, he will silently switch his argument and make a total separate argument, right? And then someone will give him some supporting evidence to his new argument, and then you say, "See, that's what I've been trying to say the whole time. You chimps don't know what you're talking about." And then he'll go on his expletive, ad hom laced response. But that's typical line. No surprise there.
All right, so is that not what you just heard? That fucking troglodyte just do now? I'm drug dealing artwork and artifacts across Europe, just so for so so
Fam, you can't be
for
the victim. You can't be the victim when
wait,
you took shots, fam.
no. I'm not the victim. All I'm saying is you're the victim. And
I
here's the
never
point.
claimed to be a victim.
Hey, wait. All right,
Yo,
listen.
Finley, to be
Take it.
fair, this was a
Take
cool
note.
Who's
conversation.
letting land?
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
yeah.
Why not
Until you
why are we
clown
letting
ass
Line
niggas.
land? He's never let
Hey,
anybody
People
land.
were
Louis,
cutting
go.
each
hey,
other
put
off, but as soon
put
as I
bread
talk,
down.
it's
Put bread down. Put
yeah.
bread
Go
down.
ahead,
You just
Louis.
heard that?
I support it. Go
Put
ahead.
bread down. Put bread down. Put bread down. You just did me. Put bread down.
Okay, I moved you
All
after
is fair.
you repeatedly, I would say a good
All
five
right.
times
No,
interrupted
I just
Brad.
said I
So
did
when
not.
Brad interrupts
I
you
I
5 times,
I
yes, I'll
interrupted
consider moving
twice.
Brad.
I interrupted twice. The first thing I said was then go, bitch ass nigga. And then the second time, which you brought me down for, was the last statement. So it was not five.
Can you
You're
make
a
your
fucking
dumbass
liar.
point so we can move around?
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. Just stop fucking lying and save this white boy. This piece of shit, trash ass white
You're the
dude.
piece of shit, Lion. Shut the fuck up or make a point.
Every
Those are your
every
options.
now you're doing it. Every fucking thing this faggot ass nigga said is wrong, and then you all always cover for him because he talks like stupid white boy. Either you feel sorry for him or you actually do believe this garbage. Flanders, you never fucking listen to the points. You isolate what you hear people say and then try to make a completely contrary argument to what you're hearing. And that's a sign that you have a learning disability. I don't know if you realize that. The
So this
same
guy's
thing with that
really
clown.
bad sliding at a
Musada,
mic and a phone.
shut up. Here's the point. What Brad
Why
actually
are you
said,
shouting at a
hey,
phone, bro?
Musada, shut up. What Brad
Yeah,
actually said, hey,
People
yeah,
need to get married,
hey,
guys. Y'all need to get
shut up.
married.
Hey, put
Aye,
him down. That's two. Put him down like you did me. Look,
shut the fuck up,
Brad,
Lion. If you
Brad,
didn't talk so fucking
then
much,
do your
maybe people
fucking
could stop
job.
interrupting you.
Do your fucking job. I don't even get a chance to say anything before these clowns come off the mic because they're afraid. Matt, what this bastard actually said, which you obviously went over, was he tried to justify all of the thefts. He tried to say that these people in Africa have been, since the Middle Ages, when Britain came in and conquered the west of Africa, that they were selling their weapons off. I mean, selling their artifacts off, which was false, Matt. That's what he was trying to justify. He wasn't trying to say that all things that are on the black market is due to the fact that Africans were selling the shit off. Then he tried to make me as a representation of how artifacts get out of Africa or stolen. I'm the one selling it to the black market. That's what he's doing. And you went right over that to go with the whole thing trying to
I'll go next.
justify how you went all right over there trying to justify how museums end up with these artifacts that are not from their original countries. Trying to say, hey, we're not actually saying that it doesn't happen, but you weren't listening to what that fucking cave dwelling troglodyte just fucking said. He tried to say that the reason why the Benin artifacts ended up in England, which was the whole reason for this argument, was because the
No, and I
people
never
of
mentioned Benin.
Benin,
He never
two
said that, Lion.
the
He never
people
Yes,
of
said
he did.
Benin.
He
Lion.
did. He
Oh,
did. He
No,
no,
he
he
did. He did.
didn't.
He
didn't.
did. He
Lion
talked
Yes,
doesn't
about
he
Ghana.
understand
did.
He
He
talked
context.
about
never
Hold
said
Benin.
on, I'm
that.
not done.
He did
Hold
say
on,
Lion
that.
hold on. He
Lion
did.
doesn't Understand
You hey,
context, y'all.
shut
Just
up,
Put
just
me in
shut
the
up,
just
queue.
wait.
shut
Put me
up,
in the
I'll
queue,
go.
shut
please.
up, shut up, shut up. He's saying the reason why that shit fucking happened at that time with the Benin. Remember, we were talking about the Benin artifacts going in England. We weren't talking about the wall, you fucking idiot. We were talking about
Again, I never said
Benin.
anything about the Benin, you
This
fucking
clown
moron.
ass nigga said that they sold it to him. We know how it got there. We know how it got there. But this clown ass nigga, you all allowed this shit to fucking happen while he sits around and disrespect your fucking cave dwelling, camel humping African asses. This is what I'm talking about. You all are fucking brainwashed. You should let this fucking troglodyte die.
Wonderful. So we'll go Louis, Finley, Matt, and then back to Brad.
Thank you.
Oh no, he left. Probably crying. Finley, it's on you.
Cry.
Finley,
My bad. My bad. I couldn't get to the mic. Pause. So yeah, Lion doesn't understand nuance. He doesn't understand like when you're speaking specifically to a situation and you pivot to generality. So for example, if we're talking about a crime, right, that took place between Jimmy and Jackson, right, and then you pivot to the overall issue with the department, right? He doesn't understand that. He can't like he didn't go to college, right? He doesn't understand like reading comprehension, right? He can't pivot in the conversation, right? He doesn't understand when you switch like perspectives. He doesn't understand that. He never learned it. So it's not his fault, right? It's definitely not his fault. But yeah, but Brad was speaking to a larger point, Lion, larger. He was speaking in general, right? He was also adding to Matt's point, right? And he was saying, which Matt actually made the point that you initially were arguing, right? All Brad did was add to that point, which what both of them said is very true, right? Thank you. Have a nice.
Matt, it's on you.
I
now it's on
mean,
me. Thank you. Oh, who? Nye?
no,
Matt.
go ahead, bro. Oh, okay. I mean, listen, grave robbing is a thing. And artifacts stealing, stolen, the black market for it is a thing. Anybody here who's traveled and is into that kind of places, you have been taken to a back room where you are offered certain things. That's not even a secret anymore because he's done throughout South America. Africa is notorious for it, right? If you need certain, I mean, I've been to Benin, the country, not the city, where certain artifacts in the voodoo ceremony realm are being offered for sale. Things that should be in museum. Like Brad is not saying it as in looting doesn't exist, and I don't think that's what Brad said. Anyway, he was making an example on how certain artifacts, if museums don't get them, they will end up in somebody's bedroom. The Salvador Mundi painting is literally in the king of Saudi Arabia's bedroom, the prince, right? Literally, that's a priceless artwork that is in his bedroom. That was not acquired the proper way, and there people are still debating it, right? But those things, that is the reality of art craft, and this is why museum are important, and that's the point we were trying to drive home. Museums sometimes they buy these things from the black market and put it on display for the entire world to see. That's the point. That's the reality of things. And we need to live with the reality of that.
No, he wasn't sold out.
I just find it weird that people who always shit on
It's on
Africans,
Brad.
calling
I
out
put my
Africans, but
vote
it's
in the
like
chat.
us.
I think you guys are clowns.
There's someone playing loud music in the background. But I was gonna
So
say,
now it.
um,
Oh, go ahead.
um, is is anyone denying the fact that there have been artifacts stolen from like? No one's denying that, right? So,
No,
No
no one.
one, no one,
Louis. So
no
the
one.
whole argument,
what?
because
Brad
it's my
is.
turn.
Brad
So shut
is.
up. Can we move him
Brad
down
is.
now?
There's people
Brad
that are
is.
denying it.
Okay.
Brad
So
was
again,
until I came off the
okay.
mic and checked
Let
So
everybody.
Brad
again,
speak for himself.
yeah. Fucking a,
Lying
dude.
people
No,
Shut the
I
say
fuck
came
up.
out specifically for Brad.
So
I came out
So again,
specifically for him.
no one
now
is
it's moving the
denying that
goalposts.
governments or entities that conquered actually took items and stole them, like taking crown jewels or various other artifacts. The Three River Stones. These are all natural things like that have been taken or stolen from various cultures. No one's discounting that. That wasn't even the original argument. But with this now new argument, because the line again is wrong again, he's like 0 and 5 today so far on absolutely every topic. I also stated in context that due to like
This
revolutions,
is the part where he moves it back. Go ahead.
genocides, conquering, fucking items get put onto the black market or sold to neighbors, or one group will sell off like all of its fucking all of its famous artwork to buy guns, such as France did in a shit ton earlier wars that they had, and they fucking wanted it all back afterwards, saying it was stolen. But in actuality, they kind of sold a lot of pieces. And the museums often go into these black markets and take them and rescue these pieces. And I said that if that country or that piece of artwork was
He added
sold
the if part.
or low, I actually quoted this, if it was sold to buy guns to commit war in your own country, I don't think it should be fucking given back and you're not a victim anymore, because I wouldn't return a piece of
That's
art to
not what he said.
Mogadishu or any other fucking place. So again, Lion doesn't listen. He doesn't
That's not what he
understand.
said.
He doesn't
Damn,
have
fucking
any
Lord,
fucking
Lord.
context of what he's talking about. And again, this
That's
retarded
not what
niglet
he said.
can't
Hey, is
fucking
anyone
actually make
counting
a
how many
point.
times the dunce interrupted?
Yeah,
That was
I
four
mean, you
times so
can.
far. I
Yeah,
got one
so
more.
no, you don't. So that should count then, right,
Hey,
Charlie?
put me in the
Can
queue.
we just boot him out? Like, we should just boot him out. Like, I mean, literally, nobody wants herpes. Nobody wants that shit. And Lion is herpes. Like, let's just assess that. That is herpes syphilis. This is the problem with the communities in America.
Actually,
We raise
Syria is a
Lion.
good example of Brad's point because, like, when ISIS was revolutionary there, they destroyed ancient artifacts.
Dude, you're talking
Not
over
even.
Brad.
I think he sort of made his point. I'm going to make a point that will keep the
Yeah,
conversation
but
moving forward.
he didn't say that he wanted to allow you to
Now
talk
you're
over him.
interrupting me, Brad. Are you
Yep,
okay if I continue?
of course
Absolutely,
he
dude.
is.
Go
Great.
Let
So
ahead.
him
now I
let
have
me
the mic,
defend.
and Lion, you can shut up. So Syria is a good example of this because during the when ISIS sort of took control, they destroyed ancient artifacts, not even for guns or anything, but just for ideological reasons. They saw it as an affront to their growing power and hegemony. And you can imagine, I don't know if this is the case, maybe it is, certain museums may have even acquired it, right? And to Brad's point, now that ISIS has kind of almost completed the coup, right? The leader of Syria now is a former ISIS member, putting on a suit, and so maybe we can judge it differently. But there's a question now for that museum, which might have an ancient artifact, which they know goes against maybe religious Muslim beliefs. Like, do we give it back to this country now that it's quote unquote stable under the new sort of leader who comes from ISIS, or do we preserve it under our mission? Right? That's a moral quandary in a way.
So first of all, Flanders was wrong in his statement. All he did was all you did was just that little interference shit to say this trashy ass white boy. What he actually said, he never said the word if. He never predicated if in his statement. He said that this is what happened, and then he says, "I don't have any sorry for you, and you're not a fucking
How many
victim."
people actually
That's
believe
hey,
Lion contributes
that's
to any
that's
conversation?
that's what
Ever.
hey
You're
that's
making it
that's
worse, Brad.
that's what I know, and that's why I'm gonna do that's why I'm gonna do that back to him. So here's the overall point, Flanders. What you just did was you showed everybody your coon mentality. He did not say any of those things. Then you made the argument that I failed to understand nuance. I think that's mighty convenient due to the fact that a minute ago you were the same person that tried to accuse me of moving the goalpost to another point that was never made in order to win an argument. Which is it, you stupid ass nigga? Which is it? Am I unavailable?
right? Mentally unavailable to move on organically in the conversation, or is it you, you fucking moron? Point to this entire argument, which is that museums make money. Remember that, you dumbass nigga? Remember that? Now I fail to understand nuance or watch the conversation switch to from one point to another. I think what's happening here, like I said before, you are a white dick sucker, and Brad is a piece of shit coward, and you all go hand in hand. You are the supporting figure in that bitch ass nigga's life. You need each other. That's how you got your fucking job, after all.
Is
Wait,
there a
I gave
queue?
Finley his
Uh,
job?
Is there a
Eureka,
queue?
if I
Is there a
can.
queue?
That is the most
Eureka.
retarded shit ever.
Wait,
Eureka.
Tally, is there a queue? Is there a queue?
Not at the moment. Was it you
Okay,
that
that's
said
not
you
fine.
came to see? Yeah. I was just gonna
Oh, okay.
you can guess first.
No, nah, I'm still
I go
listening.
after.
I
I
think
go.
there's a queue. Go ahead, go on.
Dude, this is the same dude that freaking admonished me for pushing back against somebody that called me a DEI hire. That's hilarious. Hilarious.
That
That's
was
all.
months ago.
Finley, apparently I hired you for a pilot.
Hey,
According to
can
the
I be
Yeah.
added
Hey,
to
hey,
the
Brad.
Brett.
queue, people?
Yo,
Can I
Brett.
be
Hey,
Can
hey,
you
added to
yo,
the
send
queue,
that?
yo,
please?
Brett. Just,
Yeah.
just keep signing my checks, fam. I'm good. I'm good.
I think I heard Uriba say he came to stage specifically for Brad. Was there a point that he made that you wanted to address? And then we'll go to Ray.
Was this the guy that said that they sell replicas? Is that the
No, I
replica?
think I think Uriba said that some families own these and the families sold them off and they never belonged to like the countries. Um,
Yeah, and if that's the case, then the family sold it off. They don't deserve it back. Then you sold it, like it's done. What are you
okay.
crying for?
So Uriba doesn't appear
That's
available to
not what he
speak.
said.
Okay, well we'll go to Ray and then if he can talk
I
later.
gotta learn to listen, man.
So can I speak just real briefly? I mean, I don't understand the vitriol for Lions disposition because throughout history, all you have to just look through the BBC, all right, over there in London, the Vatican. They have a whole list of library, not only library but also two different busts and different paintings that would suggest that a lot of things that have been told to the world, specifically in the Western world, are a bunch of lies. All right, so what I'm trying to understand is how what he's saying is not factual, and the things that he's not what he's bringing up has nothing to do with anything substantive when everything he's saying is actually on point. I Can somebody answer that for me?
No,
I
Lion,
can't, Ray.
Lion,
I can't. It's because I'm saying it.
Lion,
That's all.
hold on. Lion insinuated something Brad never said. Brad never said that the Benin bronze were not stolen. Brad never said that the Benin bronze were acquired in an ethical way. Lion made that assumption. And I think he had left the room when we shifted the conversation from the profit of museum and tourism to the conservation role, the conservative role that museum play into conserving artifacts. And Lion came in at the end of it without getting the full context of what we were saying. So when Brad said that sometime, he mentioned Ghana as in like, and which is the truth, by the way. If you do go to this country, people will take you in back room and show you artifacts for sale. And they are stolen artifacts. Now, leaving the country with it is going to be a different, story. You will get locked up for that, by the way. But those things do happen. And to deny that they don't happen is being dishonest. At no point in the conversation, Brad said, oh, yeah, those things were not stolen. Now, I can argue, well, if something was
Man,
acquired to
oh my
conquer,
God, man.
hold on a second, sir. Come on, Lion. Now, I can argue with Brad if something was taken via conquest, should it be returned, should it not be returned? We can have that discussion on, for instance, the Rosetta Stone. That is the main, point with the Rosetta Stone. was it taken legally because Egypt was part of the British Empire? The Thus it belonged to the British, or does it need to be returned to the Egyptian once they got their shit together? Now we can have that conversation, but no one at any point said there were no such thing as stolen artifacts, that everything is legit. No one ever said that.
Matt, the only argument
He
Brad and
said
Brad can
that.
correct me.
That
Brad
he
said,
said
Brad
it.
said, Brad said, Brad said if they sell it, if the family that owns it sells it, and Brad can correct me, he said they shouldn't be asking for it back. That's what he said.
Of course, they
That's not
shouldn't.
what he
They
said.
sold it.
That's not
That's
what he
literally what I
said.
fucking said.
No, you didn't, you piece of shit. You
You
lying
No,
piece
fucking
of shit.
actually,
dumbass fucking
actually,
so.
You lie
actually,
worse
he's
than fucking
actually
Christians.
he did say that, but I was at the
He said
supermarket
that
and
afterwards,
yeah,
after I had already confronted him.
I
Then
mean
he
that's
changed it.
one
He
point,
added
bro.
the if to the sentence
Jesus Christ!
after he
Again,
confronted.
that's the
He
problem,
said
Ray, is listening to
they.
fucking
He
idiots
said
like this
he said
because this
they.
motherfucker doesn't really
This
know
dumbass said
anything he
they
can.
sold their
He
own
he
stuff.
can't fucking actually
He
articulate any
said he
thought
went they
correctly.
sold
He
their
doesn't
own.
understand things, and again,
He
he just
said
screams into his
they
mic thinking
sold
he
their
owns
own
something.
stuff
I
for
mean, imagine
guns.
being the dumbest fucking guy on
Didn't you
earth
all hear
and
that
that you
part or
can't
no?
even manage your household,
Hey
you can't
Matt, Matt,
control
did you
anything,
hear that
and then
part?
you get in your little fucking truck
Hey
to run your
Flanders,
U-Haul
did you hear
truck
that part? Hey
to
Masada, did you
bring
hear that part?
fucking shit there,
He said
and then you're
they
gonna
sold
cry all
their.
day long.
He
Like
said
Jesus Christ. I mean,
they
Lion is a
sold
lot lizard for
their
truckers. Like,
things
I mean, I want to
for
know how many
guns.
times he raises money
No, you
to
didn't hear
fucking
that
pump up
part?
his ass
Of
because
course
he's never
not.
been to a museum. He's never gone to school. He's never
Of course
graduated
not.
high school. He's never even fucking read a
Hey
book,
stupid, what's a
apparently.
mother test
He
LA?
can't do anything. His
You don't
mother was
know.
nothing more
You
than
don't
some
know. What's
fucking
her
cheap
what's
hooker
the
that
Moabite
was fucking
LA?
sitting there
And
at
where's it
400
located?
pounds. We could call her Jabba the Slut.
Hey,
We could
where's
go
the
on a
mother test
whole
LA?
bunch of things on
Of
this
course,
fucking
you
thing.
don't know what the fuck
You
you're
know,
talking about.
this is why people get black fatigue, Ray.
Again,
This is
hey
why
Matt,
people say,
Matt,
you know
Matt,
what, I'm
Matt.
done. I don't want to hear it
Yeah,
because
yeah,
you
then
got these dumb
go,
motherfuckers.
go. We
He's
don't
the
want
These
your
dumb
monster.
motherfuckers.
grandstand.
This is it.
Get the fuck out.
This is
Go.
it.
Somebody get some
No,
shit.
we're kicking
Go.
you out. I'm taking you
You
back.
get
I'm
the fuck
sending you
out.
back to your fucking
I'm
because you
sending
were
you back to
stolen.
fucking
You're a
Huddle
priceless
Island.
piece of art. You were
Your
stolen.
mother
You
was
need
a
to go back to
whore.
fucking
Your
Africa. Go
father was
back.
a
And then
whore.
I'm gonna
You
fuck your
are
mother, make sure
useless
she
white
has another
people.
son that actually
You're
has
the
brains.
worst of
You're
the
dumb. And I'm gonna send you back with anyone else connected to you. You're going back. Done.
Jesus,
Done. I'm
Brad, that's
advocating for
Brad,
it.
come
Go
on,
back to
that's
Africa.
disgusting.
Get the fuck out. You don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, and Matt, you didn't come off the mic. I want you to pay attention to your psyche and what it looks like right now. You and I both heard this bastard say this shit, but you don't want to respond because you probably like Brad, or you don't want Brad to yell at you. I don't know,
No, no, I
whichever
told
one.
you,
We
Lion,
heard
I
this from
told you what I heard, bro. I told you what Brad
you,
said. I've been part of the conversation since we started. Like, if Brad had said, Brad didn't say that. I'm gonna be real with
Brad
you.
said.
He
No,
didn't say that.
Brad literally just for, and he said that these motherfuckers
Hey
sold
Matt,
their
I'm
shit.
all for it. I think right
No,
now
hold
we
on.
should
But
send
but
English
These
even
back. I think we
motherfuckers
should
sold their
send
even
him to
shit for
Africa.
guns.
We
He
Lion,
should.
said
Lion, Lion,
he said they
Lion.
sold their gun. They sold their artifacts for guns.
They
But
That's what he
Lion,
fucking
said.
okay,
did.
okay,
Abdul
hold on,
That's
Lion.
what.
Hadi Gazar's
Hold on,
fucking
hold on,
artwork was
hold on,
sold for
hold on,
fucking
hold
guns.
on, hold on. I'll
Jesus
give you,
Christ,
I
this guy
will give
doesn't know
you,
I
fucking
can't.
shit.
hold on
I
a
can't
Jean-Michel
second,
talk about.
Basquiat,
Lion.
his fucking artwork was sold for
Hold on,
guns.
hold on.
Jesus
But listen,
Christ.
the most famous artwork in the world, Italy want the Mona Lisa back. They will never get it back because guess what? The person, the family who
I'm
owned the
just
painting,
talking about
they
what Brad.
sold
I
it.
understand
They
people sell
sold it
shit.
to France for
That's
money.
not
So
what
yeah, a
happened in
lot of stuff.
Benin.
Nobody said that's what happened in Benin. That's why you're
That's
losing
what
the
we were talking
conversation. He
about.
did not, but he did never bought the bronze being
So we're talking.
sold
Wait, Matt,
legally.
Matt,
No one
Matt,
ever said that. And I even
Matt,
told you,
Matt,
if you were
my
to go
fucking
on the
God,
second
Matt,
floor, if you were
Matt,
to go on the wing that houses the artifact, they tell you
hey,
how the artifact was
Matt,
taken. So
Matt.
there's no
Look, can I
innuendo,
ask you
there's
Lion's
something,
no
Matt?
never been there,
ambiguity
Matt.
Matt,
about it.
Matt, let
Oh,
me ask
come
you
on,
something.
Lion. You're not being
Matt,
Lion, you're
Matt,
not being real,
let
bro.
me
You're
ask
not
you
being
something. Wait,
real.
no, that's false. Let me ask you something,
No,
Matt. So,
it's because you
so
said so.
Matt,
Everyone
if I,
heard me say what I
hey
said.
Matt,
I repeated back to
he's
your
trying to
dumb
drown me out
fucking
again because he doesn't
ass,
want me to
your low
respond because he knows
IQ,
it's gonna
your
look bad.
fucking obese
You
ass,
know you're gonna
that
look bad. Hey
everything
Matt,
you had.
hey
You
Matt, Matt,
actually give black people a bad name
Matt,
because you are
hey
stupid.
Matt,
Stay
Matt,
stupid,
Matt.
but just
Okay,
shut the
let me stay
fuck up.
stupid. Shut
Stop
up. All right, shut up.
interfering
Shut up.
with
Shut up. Shut up. Shut up.
interfering with everybody
All
else's
right,
fucking
Matt.
conversation. No, I
So
don't
if
give a fuck
I,
what you say.
if
Go
hey,
back
hey
and take your
you're trying
nigga
to
country.
drown me
Go
out
back
because
to your
you're afraid.
Dominican or your
You're
fucking African
afraid.
roots, whichever
You're
flavor of the week you
afraid
want to
of
be.
me.
Go pick one and go.
You
Because we
are
know that you're
afraid of
Dominican. We
me,
know
and I
that you're not fucking
understand. I
black.
get it.
You're
I
not a
know
fucking
why.
Hebrew
I get it.
Israelite.
But it's not
Go
going to
back
stop
to
me
Africa.
from
I'm
pointing
all
out
for it. I'll
the
buy the fucking
indiscrepancies
airfare
of your
because your broke
statements.
ass can't get
You
there.
don't
I
have
will
to
pay
run.
for
Hey, listen.
you to
You
get
don't
your
have
ass
to
to Ghana
defend.
to go
All
celebrate
right,
in a
send me the money.
tashiki
Send
cloth
me the
and
money.
do a
Send me the
fucking
money.
voodoo dance all day
Send me
long.
the money.
I
Send me the
don't
money.
care. I want you out of the country.
I'll put
I'm
it in the chat.
advocating. I will take
I'll
all
put
of
it in the chat.
Nigeria
Send me the
and
money.
replace them with you.
Yeah,
I will
good. Send
get
me the
rid of you.
money.
I will
Yeah,
take
I know.
every
Send
other
me the
fucking
money.
nation
Brad,
over
Brad,
you,
shut up. Stop
over
talking and
you,
do it.
any fucking
Brad,
progeny,
stop talking
anything you
and
fucking
do
may
it.
have.
Stop
None,
talking and do
none.
it,
The
Brad.
world is
Brad,
better
do
off
it.
without you. Drive
Brad,
into
send me
the
to Ghana.
wall. Go hit a 60 and drive into
Brad,
the wall. Try not to kill a
send
fucking
me
woman. Try
Ghana.
not to hurt anybody else because that's
Send
all you
me
fucking
to
niggas
Ghana.
like to do.
All
That's
right, look,
you.
Matt,
That's
Matt.
you right
All right.
there
Okay,
because you
great,
like to
great.
go.
Yeah,
No,
great.
no, no.
Hey,
I'm not
Matt,
stopping. I'm going in all
Matt.
day on you. You
All
fucking Jerry Curl fucking
right.
obese
I
fucking
just talk
fat
over you.
Albert
No problem.
wannabe. You don't have
All
it.
right.
I'm going to continue going
So,
on it all day long.
all right,
I
Matt,
don't give a
check
fuck.
this out. Here's the issue I'm
No, you
having
don't
here.
have it. You don't
So we
got
were
it, dude.
talking
You still
about,
don't
if we
have it.
were
You've
talking
been
about
crying
the
all day,
artifacts that were
crying
taken
all morning,
from
and you've been
Benin
wrong
and brought
every
to
single
England,
time. Starting
we
with
were
the
talking
St.
about
Louis
the
Zoo is a
actual
profit
artifacts.
center for the
Benin,
entire
Benin,
city.
Benin, right?
You don't
And we're
have, and
saying,
then
and
you
I
want to
said
go to
that Benin,
Benin.
the
You
people
never
of the
even seen
Benin
Benin.
want
You
their
don't even know
artifacts
what
back.
Benin is.
Don't you
You
think
don't
it's
know what
really
it is.
Killmonger was
strange
right,
Listen,
how you
brother.
tapioca
bastards
head.
start
You
talking
don't
about
have it.
Egypt and start
Again, you
talking about
don't. You're too
China and
fucking
start
stupid.
talking about Brazil
Who's
and,
John
and
Michael
talking about
best
all
tweet?
of these
Huh?
other
Do you
things
have that
when
one?
we are talking about
How about
Benin
any of
wanting
those?
their
How about
artifacts back?
any of these other
Isn't
artists?
that
Do you know
strange to
any of
you
those?
how
Do you
all of
know
a
it?
sudden
Do you know
now
it? You don't? No,
a
all of a sudden
isolated
nothing. I've been
incident
going nuts.
that came
You're the
from
one that's been
Benin
fucking coming off
and
mic and
British
sounding retarded.
colonization and
Again, you
imperialists
don't. I'm
coming
glad we
in
colonized
the
you. The only thing we
1800s
didn't do is
taking
we
these
should have
from
followed
I'm
through with
sorry
like
from
the
those
Middle East philosophy and
yeah
castrated motherfuckers like you. We should have just
1800s
took
coming
those
in
little
and
pea
doing these things
marbles
to
that you
Benin.
have
We're
and
talking
pulled them
about
off
Benin,
and just
and
ripped
this
them out.
bastard
That's
comes
what
off
we
the
should have
mic
done.
to
We
start
should
talking
have
about
sat there
something
and like squatted
unrelated.
your daddy down and
Just
just
to
said,
make
"Here you
what
go. This
point
is all you're
exactly?
good for."
We're not talking
Jesus
about what the
Christ, you
Egyptians
are
did with
too
their
stupid
artifacts
to
and
be
how
on
they
fucking
sold their
public
artifacts.
discussions.
We're talking
And
about
again, you
Benin.
don't have
We're talking
any
about
fucking
Benin.
rationale. You
Why
have
is it
never read
though?
a
I
book.
think it's
You've
really
never been
strange.
to a museum.
Why
You've
is
never
it
been to the
that
zoo
you
except to
and
be on
others
exhibit
all of a
yourself as
sudden
a
want
North
to jump
American
to a
pavement ape.
subject that had nothing to do with the point? You and others had want to jump to a subject that had nothing to do with the actual point. Remember, the point is Benin wants their things back. I didn't ask did Egypt want their shit back. I didn't
Fuck.
ask did France
No
want
one
their shit
cares.
back
No one
from
was
another
talking
country.
about
We're talking
Benin, you
about Benin.
dumb
Remember,
fucking
I'm
monkey.
the one who led
Again,
the
you weren't.
conversation
Who
to where
gives a
we
fuck? I
are.
don't give a fuck. I'm not giving it
And the
back. You know what?
only
I'll
reason
set it
you
on
moved
fire,
from this
dance
position
around
is
it
because
naked
my
with blue
position
paint on my
was
body, and
sound
then
and
piss
yours
on it
was not.
afterwards. I
Don't
don't
you
give
get
a
that?
fuck. And you
So
know
in
what?
other
No
words, while
black and
you're
black
trying to say
nothing. You
that
don't.
I'm
Who gives a
moving the
fuck? I
point,
don't care.
you
said
corporations?
that
Nope.
I'm doing,
Jim
not
Crow,
you.
it
You
was a
didn't say this,
great
Matt.
fucking thing.
Others
We
did.
should
You
continue
said that
slavery.
I'm
We
moving
should
the
have it
point
again.
away,
We should have it again.
when in
I
fact it
don't
is
care. I don't want
actually you
integration.
people that
I
But
have
if you
don't
moved
want
don't
the
care,
point
you
stop
don't want
away
I
talking.
don't
from
have to worry about
Benin
integration because
and
Lion doesn't go to
England.
fucking school, so we
You
can
But if you
continue
understand
don't
this.
now?
care, stop
And so now
talking.
when this
This guy
clown ass
doesn't have it.
bastard comes
Again,
off the
we
mic,
should
this
bring back
fucking dirty
whipping in
ass
public
furry
squares
furry
again.
cave
We
critter
should do
comes off
that
the mic
again.
and starts screaming, yeah, well, it
Again,
was
we
a
should
lot
do
of
this shit.
people that
We
sold all of
should
their artifacts
have this
to
back.
other countries.
I
They don't
want to
deserve it
see
back.
it
We're not
back. I
even talking
want to
about them.
see idiots
We
like
never were
you
talking about them.
fucking
And
picking
then
deals,
this
and that's
bastard
it.
turns
That's why
around and
you're a
doubles
truck driver.
down
That's why
and
you
tries to
only
say that
amount to a
I'm one
fucking
of the
Kmart
individuals
driver.
that does shit like that.
You are the
He's pointing
dumbest
out,
motherfucking.
if it went over your
Like
head to
fucking
say that, it's
herpes,
okay.
AIDS. You're
If
the
you didn't
reason we
hear
have
that
AIDS. You're
part
the
or you
motherfucker
can't
that was
read between the
fucking
lines, just
monkeys
say
and
that.
then brought AIDS
You
around.
don't have to
Like
turn around
how do
and
you
side
go
with this
come here
fucking
and have
devil,
AIDS
this
babies? Like
blue-eyed white
motherfuckers like you
devil,
have
in
that.
order to
You
make a
are that.
position.
It's
God, fetal
terrible.
alcohol
It's
syndrome,
very
and it's
embarrassing
finally
and very shameful
you're
for you to
so
sit up
fucking
and look
dumb,
at this
so
clown,
fucking
turn around and say
shitty.
that these people
I
in
can't have. There's
Benin
not nobody
sold
thinks
their
lion is
shit for
smart.
guns.
How many people actually believe lion has read
Nobody
a
was talking
fucking
about what
book?
Egypt did.
One
Nobody
book,
was talking
one
about what
book.
no other
Do you
fucking
think lion
country
can
did
put out Benin
except
on a
this
map? I guarantee
motherfucker.
he can. Can he
After the
find
fact,
Egypt? Nope,
after
he
I
can't.
pointed out
He
what he
can't
did.
find any of this
All of
shit.
a sudden now
But here
it's
you go.
about
Listen to this
the
guy
other
go on
countries.
and
And then
stretch
that
his
bitch
fucking
ass
lie.
nigga Flanders comes out the mic and does the exact same thing. You
Um,
niggas are sick. You suffer from Stockholm syndrome. You really do. Whenever some clown, dumbass white dude comes off the mic and starts rambling, you just side with him. You don't question or challenge anything this dumb fucking monkey ever says. And
I'm
it's
supposed to.
sick.
Wait.
wait, can I?
Me as a dumb Christian supposed to side with you, fam? Fam, you have the same vitriol for me. The same
What's
vitriol.
Leon?
I'm
What's the
supposed to
argument
side with you,
about
fam?
Benin? What's the
That's
argument about
hilarious.
Benin?
Can I share something? Sorry,
Hold on,
it's all.
Alaska. Leon, what's the argument about Benin?
Oh, no, it's to do with the argument, but without yeah. There's a really fun game called Relooted, and it allows players to experience a high style game focused on the repatriation of African artifacts from Western museums. It's really fun.
I
Highly
oppose
recommend
it.
it.
I don't want anything going back to that. I clearly you have too many lions, and until you're ready to genocide the
That
lions,
wasn't
then
for you.
you can't have that back. I
But
can't trust you.
Relooted, it's a really really
Is
fun
it like
game.
Enchanted? Is it like Enchanted, Alaska? Do you ever play Enchanted, the video game?
Ooh, no, I didn't actually.
But you know
I'm
about
glad
it.
OD is here. I'm
What's it
glad
called?
OD, what happened to the bronze bin in that Belgium returned to Nigeria?
What do you say?
What happened to them?
Oh, some of them were there. Some of them were, stolen.
72 have
Ah,
been returned back.
some of them was stolen, right? And ended up on the black market.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm indifferent about returning those bronze artifacts. Actually, I'm just indifferent about it.
It's also good to say that, especially in London museums, the majority of their collections aren't even on show. They're literally hidden away, and most objects are like very sacred objects that they didn't receive in legal ways anyway. I don't know why Brad is so
No,
upset about this kind of thing. It's
room
important.
52.
So again, I'll
Room
restate the
52
argument.
African
Sorry,
side, you will
pardon,
see
Matt. I
almost
couldn't
a
hear you.
hundred. Room
Wait, Matt.
52, the
Can I
African
restate my
side,
Brad, be
argument
will
quiet.
again,
Don't
see
listen to
almost a
Matt,
Alaska?
hundred of them.
please.
Wait, I'm gonna restate my argument, Alaska, so that you can understand it without having the
No, I
fucking.
can. I can hear. No, I know what you're saying because you've been yelling about it. I just can't
So
hear it. I
I
want to listen.
stated that
Yeah.
I'm not discounting. In fact, I re-emphasized that yes, there have been conquerors that stole artworks and priceless Riverstone. Like there are 3 Riverstones that Britain has and still controls to this day. They belong to a culture. There's all sorts of works. The Met. I've talked about this at length. I know this very well. That yes, some of these things should be returned. But I also stated that there happens to be a significant portion, not a larger, not anything grander, but a significant portion of artwork that is literally stolen or been fucking looted or sold by a dictator to buy guns. And when it on the black market, and the
Um.
museums
Yeah,
have
Brad.
gone in and have actually saved these things from the black market and
But
brought them back.
but
And I
Brad.
said, we wouldn't bring them back to the country because, hey, you
Okay.
fucking sold it or you looted it and then you fucking got rid of it on the black market. And it
Brad,
would
this
be
argument
questionable.
is yeah. I see because I did hear you say that before. But Brad, that argument is like a really really like people have been using that argument for a very
Leah,
long
are
time.
you too
Like
sensitive to it because you think
no
it
no
doesn't
Let
exist?
her
no.
explain it,
Let me
man. Come on,
finish.
let her explain why it's a bad argument. Go ahead,
So,
explain.
so the argument is I can't remember the word for it, but yeah, people have, especially Western white people, have been using that argument for years and years and years. The whole idea of well, they're not looking after it, so we can. It's not yours to look after. It's not yours to like. And also, if when you look at the museums, they aren't looking after them properly anyway. They just literally pushed away somewhere in a back cabinet. Like it's not your possession to begin with. You don't get to decide how it's looked after, where it's
So
put. Blah blah
Alaska,
blah blah
so
blah.
stop there with your
That's not
argument.
I'll go
So
fair.
after you, Brad.
we
I'm after
recovered
Nathan.
Somali artifacts. We have them. Priceless artworks, right? They exist now in the British Museum. You know how the British Museum got it? By buying them on the black market in the Middle East. You know how the black market in the Middle East got it? by fucking the Somali fucking whichever fucking Boko Haram leader of that week decided to sell them off there to buy fucking
Brad,
guns.
Brad,
So wait, wait,
no,
wait,
no.
wait. Stop, Alaska.
Can I
So
respond
are you
after?
saying that the British government who said, "Hey, I'm going to give you money to go get these priceless works that are in the black market," and they try to preserve them, and then you're saying, "Well, it should go back to the Somalis." Well,
Um,
no, because technically the Somalis fucking sold it. So
okay,
if they
can I?
sold it, it's done. It's not there. Stop crying.
Okay,
And that
I'm not
actually
crying.
happened.
Okay, the thing is, you've got no leg to stand on. If you really care about artifacts this badly, why don't you start looking? Why don't you look first at home at the awful things that American, especially white Americans, have done
That's not
to?
contending with
Let me
anything
All
I
right, come
said,
on,
finish.
and
come
you're
on, one
Let
crying
me
time,
about
one
finish.
something
time.
else.
I'm after it. Let her get a chance
Okay,
to respond.
I'll be really quick. The
Well, she's pulling a lion now. She's
oh,
like
no, you're not
obviously going to
letting me finish.
obfuscate from that
I
direction.
literally
Come
was gonna
on, Brad.
finish
Come
Yeah,
on,
saying,
let
come
her
on.
finish, man. No, let her
uh,
finish, man.
uh,
I'll go after you,
okay,
Nathan. I'll go
See,
please,
after
I
you.
okay,
told you.
Nah, Matt,
Anybody
30
Matt,
that
Matt.
seconds,
disagrees,
30 seconds
Who
max.
after you, Nathan?
It's
Matt.
just very rich
I'll
hearing
go
you
after Matt.
getting okay. It's really rich hearing you get so angry and racist about this subject when white Americans, especially, have done horrific things to Indigenous peoples' artifacts. What you fucking put your president's faces on a sacred mountain, but you're angry about other countries and they're come on, start think global, act local.
All right, thank you. I just want to say this. Look, humans are social creatures, right? They're social animals, and within social animals, they have a hierarchy. But if we look at the human species, there's a hierarchy as well too, right? And the hierarchy is the dominant human species, and those are the Europeans. Like for the primitive societies, they're not going to preserve their artifacts because to them, their value is survival. For the ones who already understand how to survive, they have to teach the weaker vessels, the weaker humans, how to survive as well too. So, as far as like artifacts, they need to be preserved by the more dominant human species. And this is why we have the title, The White Man's Burden. Because for those Africans over there in Benin and those other Africans or the indigenous populations, they don't understand why they have to preserve it. But the white man understands. And I know you might think of it as cruel, but if I take something from you, I'm not stealing it. I'm taking it. And I'm going to give it to you when you're ready. Not now, because you're not ready. Think of these primitive people. Think of them like children. You're not going to give your children a whole bunch of money because you know they're not going to utilize it for the things they need. They're going to spend it on a whole bunch of trinkets and stupid shit because their mind isn't developed as yet. The same like these primitive societies. As a community, as a collective, their mind isn't developed as yet. They're thinking about just getting money. They're not going to preserve it. So that's why these other societies, like in Europe, right? They take it not for the benefit of them, but the benefit of the people who actually want to enjoy viewing them. And just like Matt is about to say, and just like Brad is saying, it's unfortunate, but it's true. Africa, the whole continent of Africa, is no comparison to any country over there in Europe. Well, we don't say that. Like the more developed country in Europe, or that little small island, the UK. Or think about the United States. The whole continent isn't compared to the United States. And that's all we're trying to say. The white man's burden is to pick up the slacks for the undeveloped nations. And that's all we're trying to say, even with the artifacts. I know Lion doesn't believe it because he is optimistic about the black people over there in Africa. But I'm realistic, bro. At the end of the fucking day, I live in reality. They're not going to cherish those artifacts and let other people enjoy it the way these white people are doing it. And they do it because of the kindness of their fucking heart. Go ahead, man.
I just wanted to say, obviously,
No, no,
I
no. My son
disagree
is
with
Matt
that.
go.
Oh,
It's Matt go. It's Matt.
oh, sorry.
You can go after Mr. Finley.
Give me 1 second.
Okay, fine. Ah, you see, Mr.
So
Finley, you want to go?
I'll go. So here's the argument. All right. Here's the argument. You have a family that in the South that bought a house post slavery. Somehow they got
Fe-
the house.
Mr. Fendi, can I go real quick?
No, oh yeah,
I mean,
you were next,
like
but
a minute.
you said hold
Okay,
on, so I
good.
went. But it's your
So
go. It's your go.
listen,
It's your.
um, I am as pro-black as they come, but we need to look in the mirror and be honest with ourselves, right? We do not protect this artifact. I know we love to claim Egypt was built by black people, blah blah blah. Everything you see in Egypt today was restored by the European. I'll break it to you. It was restored by them. When it was under our custody, they were dilapidated, right? They were not cared for. They were not even well kept. And that is one of the beautiful things when you visit the site, you see what it looked like before and after restoration. You got to give the white people credit for doing it. If anybody ever get on a plane and go to Cambodia, right? You go to Angkor Wat, you go to Wat Pho. Once again, the white people came back. They put their money together and they restore some of this temple that we are enjoying today, right? We can blame them all
Man,
we want. Let me finish. We can blame them all we want for not returning this, for looting that. In 2001, the Taliban blew up two statues that date back to the 5th century CE. Two Buddha statues. One was 125-meter tall, the other one was 180-meter tall. Had the British stole them and put them in fucking England, we would have been enjoying them today. No one in this room will ever see this statue again. Our children will never see them again. So yes, I am for the for once again, I am as pro black as everybody here. But we need to be honest with ourselves. The British Museum is needed. The museum in fucking Berlin is needed. The one in Turin, Italy is needed because we are not holding dear to this artifact that is for humanity. Not only for you, it's for humanity. Until we can restore, keep them, and know how to maintain them, I think they should stay exactly where they are.
man,
So
I give
yeah,
you.
it's my turn. It's my turn.
Oh,
It's my
this is
turn, line. It's my
ridiculous.
turn. It's my turn, line. Yeah, and I was also want to put a line took offense when Brad said people like him, and when he mean people like you, he means ignorance. Ignorant people that cannot understand context and respect the value of what we're talking about, right? He was using that, but in any event, so we're arguing about, you know, again, we got a black family that bought a house. Let's say they bought a house that they were slaves in, right? And they passed the house down to their Pookie and them nephew, who, because they was broke and didn't want to work, they sold it off to a white family that appreciated the historicity of the house, right? So they kept it. They kept it, and then other blacks are screaming and complaining, "Oh no, you got to give it back." Even though Pookie and them wasn't keeping up, they weren't painting the house, they weren't maintaining it, they were letting it become dilapidated. That's what we're having the conversation. And then the other black families who understand the full context said, no, we want this house to stand so that we can appreciate the house. And then the other blacks in the room that don't understand the context are screaming, give it back to Pookie and them who freaking sold it and weren't taking care of it. That's the conversation that we're having right now.
All right. So number one, these you're here. Watch this. Watch this. Here, Flanders. This is the nuance. So he brings up Egypt and black people ruling Egypt. What he failed to let you know is that the black people were conquered and pushed into the Sudan and southern regions that was the original builders, leaving it destroyed and dilapidated for at least 1,000 years until finally the Greeks came in around 332 BCE. And they didn't build anything either. All they did was build up a couple of buildings and slap their white skin on some of the places and went around pretending to be the Egyptians that had been there in yesteryear. Then finally, the Arabs, the Ottomans, Ottoman Turks, they came in after Rome destroyed the region. Remember the fight between Ptolemy and Seleucus? Yeah. So what ends up happening next is the Ottoman Empire, Byzantine Empire, comes and now takes over Egypt. And they don't do anything but destroy and loot the place around all the way up to 1356 AD. So the original people weren't allowed to even have their own shit. The same thing applies to every other place. How the fuck do you steal some shit from some people, then turn around and try to tell them that be Even though they've had this shit for thousands of years, they are the ones who don't know how to keep this shit up and running. Maybe if you weren't the destroying thieves that you were, they would have kept it around for another 3, 4, 10,000 years. You people are so fucking brainwashed,
Yeah,
and it is sick.
Someone
You
else would have stolen
fucking
from them.
sick. Nigga,
that's.
anybody can say that then. Anyone can say that.
That's
Someone
the
else can steal
point.
anything from
That's why
anybody.
someone else need to take care
Can
of it,
I
nigga.
So
can I just add
no,
something as
so
well?
no, you
After you,
fucking
sorry,
I'm
clown.
Lion.
not gonna
If
give you
that's the
money
case,
because you don't
if
know how
that's
to
the
keep
case,
your money, nigga. I'll keep it for you.
Wait, can
Something like
I?
that.
If that's the case, then the same thing should apply to all of the artifacts that was in Germany that was destroyed. They someone should have took all of that shit out of Germany, and I should have it over here in America because we the ones who won the war.
Exactly,
We
Exactly.
the ones
Thank
who
exactly.
you.
won the
That's the
No, can
argument
I?
right there. Thank you, Lion. You got it now.
but
Can I
that didn't
respond?
happen though. Hey, wait, hold on. But that
Sorry,
did not happen though.
after
That did
you.
not happen though, did it? You stupid ass nigga.
No,
White
just
people know
interrupt
better.
him. He
White,
doesn't have
white.
anything
So
No,
intelligent.
have
Again,
you
That's
he's
ever?
why
wait.
just
you don't get
fucking
it. The
Can I
stretching the
Germans are
argument
weak
respond?
That
until he
too.
did
The
gets
happen.
Germans are
there.
That
weak.
did
Can
happen.
I?
That did happen. That's the Berlin Wall,
Um.
dumbass.
Okay,
Hey,
so I
stupid.
just wanna.
Hey,
I just
hey,
wanted to.
stupid. Oh my God, why are you interrupting
And
me?
because you're retarded, she can go.
Hey,
She
hey,
makes more
All right,
sense
hey,
than you do.
let him. You
No,
don't
no,
have
no.
to
Let him
interrupt
Come
him
on,
finish.
first.
It's
guys.
Let
to
him
his
land.
point.
Just let him land. Let him land.
yeah,
Sorry about
why
that,
you?
Lion. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, stop doing that monkey shit, all of you chimps. So here's the
Uh,
point. Would
please
it be?
go back to fucking whatever
Hey,
Come
shithole
on, let him
cardboard box
go.
you
Let
live
him
out
go.
of.
Let him
Let him go.
finish.
Let him go.
when it comes to these Europeans, they share. When it comes to Europeans and black people shit, ancient black people shit, they take. And that's all it really, and they justify the taking by claiming that you don't have the ability to take care of the shit. It's convenient that they can say that after they're the ones who's destroying these countries in the first place, toppling their governments, forcing them to this destitute position, then turn around and tell them that they're not allowed to have their own shit that they made. You people are pieces of shit, especially you, Brad. You a low life little worm, you fucking asshole.
So I basically have to say I completely agree.
What
Oh no,
evidence
no.
do you
Let
have
me
on this?
please.
White
Hello.
people
Sorry.
are destroying
Sorry. I was
African continent.
waiting. I'm so sorry.
No,
Can I?
no, 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 no. Alaska, I'm sorry. I was actually supposed to be next. What evidence do you guys have on always blaming white people on why all African governments are literally shitholes? This blaming white thing is why literally Africa is what it is today. Bunch of crybabies. Africa is a shithole because of Africans. Point blank period. No white man, no bread, no team, none of that shit. That is a lie. But we live here. Africans that live here will tell you as it is. Africans don't give a fuck about industrialization. None of us give a fuck about this shit. We just want money. Like Matt said, we would sell that item in the next day. That's just the reality. If
Um.
Africans wanted those items back, I said it before, we would build nuclear bombs and we would threaten the West. We wouldn't prat and dance and whatever shit you're doing. Like, we're raised by men, not women.
Um. So what I wanted to say to the point of like apparently European countries looking after them more, that's just it's just not it's not true. The British Museum, I posted the link in the chat last year. They lost there was an unexplained absence of over 2,000 items. Um, this happens regularly at the British
I thought
Museum.
they were safe. I thought they were safe in Britain.
Exactly.
Pieces
No,
of
no, no.
shit.
That's what I'm saying. And to your point, that's what I'm saying. It completely goes against because there's been loads of these where they just have thousands of items missing or items missing, and it's apparently that's fine. um, and also in that same article, I've posted it, but it literally says, as Despina Kutsumbaba and Samba, sorry, head of the Association of Greek Archaeologists put it, we want to tell the British Museum that they cannot anymore
Oh, that's
say the
perfect. That's
Greek
perfect.
culture
Thank you.
heritage is protected in the British Museum.
Can I go next? Can I go next? So to Nathan and Matt, this notion that we should be. I'm sorry, am I in the Matrix? I'm sorry.
Nah, nigga, I hear you
No,
clear.
You
Oh,
should.
I
he's
think
here.
Nathan's on mic in. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, yeah. To
Oh
Nathan
shit,
and
my
Matt,
fault.
the idea that we because like some Europeans preserved some relics that they thought were cool, and like we should thank them. I'm not rolling with that. Like we look like even in like Nazi occupied Germany, that those were Europeans destroying precious works. Like about 85%, the National Museum in Warsaw was burned. 85% of the collection in that museum was burned. Like these were priceless arts, and it was just anything that was considered degenerate, according to that specific regime, um, was burned. Right? We burn it. We could do away with this. So if you're saying like you appreciate like what I guess your sensibilities are the same as like I guess the Europeans who like collected these artifacts, put them in museums. That's cool, but like to say that we owe them or we have to thank Europeans for preservation is kind of doofy. Being that like they destroyed so much artwork, like so much work, so many relics, so many priceless um artifacts were destroyed. Like so,
Iconoclasts on. Yeah, they
yeah.
just
I don't.
shit.
Yeah, I'm not rolling with
So
Can
that.
I
let me
go
say,
after the
let me
Is
say,
last
there a
Louis,
person,
queue?
please?
Louis,
Can
Is
Louis,
I
there
go
a
Louis,
after the last
queue?
Louis,
person?
Louis.
Is there a
So the
queue?
reason,
Is there a
No, no,
queue?
no.
Because
There's no queue.
Yo,
okay,
Odie.
because
my
I'd
Oh, no
like to
queue?
reply
Alright,
to
I'll go
Louis.
thank
after
you.
Masanda. I'll go
Monica,
after
keep
Masanda.
quiet. What do you know?
Odie.
Masanda, I'll go
That's
after
not
you.
how the
Masanda, I'll go
stage
Let
after
me.
you.
works. That's not how the stage works, Odie. I
Okay,
believe
I'm
I
speaking.
went
Let
off
him go, let
mute
him go. Yo, this
Let
first.
me
convo is
speak.
flowing, it's flowing, it's flowing. You
Yeah,
continue,
thank
Masanda.
you.
Go after him.
Yeah.
Cranberry,
So
you
Louis,
think I'm standing for you, but
Come on, Monica, come on.
come
Monica will do this
on.
later. Monica will do this later.
oh,
Let's just
it's
have,
no problem.
let
If
it
the
flow, let it flow,
stage
let it
doesn't
flow.
want to hear from me, that's no big deal.
No, Monica, go ahead, but
Like
don't
we
do that.
do, but
Please
like
listen.
let it flow first, then we'll go in the queue. We do want to hear from it, but let it just flow. All right. So I'm Masanda, go ahead, bro. So Louis, thank you, Cranberry. So Louis, that's how we look at this thing.
Monica's next, just so you know, guys.
I
Okay?
know I was next. Okay, I'll go after Monica. Fuck it.
That's how
Let's
we
just
look
leave
at this
it.
thing.
Oh, shit. My fault. Cranberry,
No,
then
you
Monica.
get. Okay, yeah, either way.
That's how we should look at this thing. Not like Musanda. There's a bit of nuance to this discussion. And what do I mean? Part of the history. Now, let me remove Africa because Africa is a complicated matter. Now, if you read books, both from white people, from indigenous people, you will see that there is a bit of a nuance. Now, some of those artifacts were given to the white people as gifts. You do know that, Louis, right?
You said
Now,
some of the art. Yeah, no, I'm not. Yeah, listen, I'm not denying that artifacts were given or even like sold to like
so,
European countries. That's not. I'm not saying that.
yeah, yeah. Okay, so now when you look at this, now the problem is that those artifacts that were stolen, fine, but some of those artifacts that were given as gifts, did the person who gave it have the right to give it as a gift?
That's a
So those
great
are the
point.
questions.
That's a great point.
Those are the questions I want to ask. Then lastly, one of the reasons why I am no longer white man is that if you look at the history that was written about even our own people, unfortunately, the sources I trust for our own history were white people's sources, not my Igbo brothers. Let me repeat it again. Why? Because my Igbo brothers, some of them embellished nonsense. They embellish nonsense in the history that they are writing. They are the ones that created this false dichotomy that Igbo people are from Judah or Israel. Now, at that point in time, when I read all the sources, I ask myself the question: what is the intention of the person writing it? Most of the people that wrote that were indigenous tend to have exaggerated a lot of things. So some of them were just pure fables. Sorry. And I'll give you one. I do
Can you
not
fix your
take,
mic, Where it's hard to hear
sorry,
you.
sorry, sorry, I was using my AirPods. I do not take anything written by Olida Ekwano. You guys should know him now, Mama's Fasa. I don't take anything he wrote seriously. I need to cross check it. Why? Because Mama Gustavo Vasa was only 9 years old when he was taken as a slave. So the question is, what does a 9-year-old know? What is his memory? What does he recollect? What practices would he have known that the Igbo people were doing as of that time? A 9-year-old's memory needs to be questioned. So I don't take some of his writings very. I mean, people tend to look at him or the man who paid him great, but I personally don't take his writings as truth because a 9-year-old doesn't know anything. There's no way he would have recollected all those things that he wrote down as a 9-year-old. No way.
So what you do is, if you're interested, you cross-reference. He said this happened here. You check it, you check it, check. You find that some of the things he wrote, he just embellished it. Of course, it's among the people that wrote that Igbo people are from Israel. Now, I'm not disputing. I'm not like. So a lot of them were embellishing their stuff. Now, I'm saying in certain instances, I would trust their sources because some of them had no, they didn't know what was going on. They didn't have any reason to lie. So for the people that say that they're not Igbos, but when they came to their place, they spoke Igbo. They said they were Igbo. Before the Igbo identity became, I'm speaking to you because you're Igbo. Before the Igbo identity became big, those people say, I'm not Igbo, but the white man will meet you in the outskirts. You say you're Igbo. He'll come down to the innermost land and meet the same people speaking the same language and say, why you guys are speaking the same language? So, look, this is what I wanted to point out. Some things you can look at it and say, well, this doesn't seem right. But some things that the indigenous people did were outright embellishments. They embellished a lot of things. I yield.
Can I try,
Um.
Mary?
Yeah. So I don't really get that pivot, but I think that was like a brief history in time there. But I mean, yeah, I'll research more on that. I mean, I'm Nigerian as well, and I'm Yoruba. Um. These items were stolen. They were not offered. They were not given. I mean, they were not presented. They were not exchanged. And you're making it sound like buying something from the black market is actually a good thing. It's not. Buying this from the black market is still a bad thing. It's still an illegal act to a huge degree. So, yes, granted, these things were stolen. They were taken care of by the white man. There's now a battle like, oh, we want it back. What's up? Give it to us back. And some of them are gradually being returned back, which I think is cool. But is there a big emphasis on it now? I feel like that happened a long time ago. Not really. I feel like back then nobody really understood the value of particular things in terms of like how what a thing would do for us if it stays in our country at some point. And some people actually did. So I don't think a proper conversation was had at that time. It was just like, yo, we're bigger, we're stronger, we have more resources. What the fuck you up? Give us your shit and let's go. It's fucked up. Then fuck the white man for that bullshit. Seriously, I will never forget white man for that shit. He came to root and pillage. You get. But were they used for like fucked up means? Like, were they used for like fucked up means? Yeah, because those same artifacts that you're still against him that some guy sold it, whatever, he still made profit from it. People spoke about it in the news. It's in history books in America, Europe, everything. People write about it. People pay money with it. And sheiks that you're saying that, oh, some sheik sold it. Another white sheik in his own country will buy that shit and go and can keep it in his fucking wall and just keep on buying crypto. People like that exist. We understand that, but it doesn't make the act right. So in that essence, right, this whole synergy or atmosphere of museums and who keeps what and who maintains what and who should return it what is a convoluted conversation that will never lead to a full stop. The white man fucked up. Back then, no one really knew what they were doing. And basically, if Africans had actually stood their ground back then, I said, you know what, fucked up, we want it back. But we couldn't stand up for ourselves back then because we didn't have that much resources. And we got our independence in Nigeria in 1960, not very long ago. 1960 may sound long, but it's not actually very. We didn't have time to actually catch ourselves together and know what the fuck we're being taken advantage of. Our resources, our equipment, our labor, everything is fucked, right? So both of you made sense, but the act is too fucked that you stole from us, right? Then now you took care of it. Thank you. We want it back. Now we want some reparations. Like, oh no, but you guys had sheiks and your criminals and your warlords. So well, yeah, those warlords had no choice because they were in a fucked up economy. I'm not supporting warlords, but they were in an economy whereby she was going to miss. Hence, crime is going to actually flow when there's no order, when there's no chance for people to actually use their own resources and keep their own things to actually build their nation, especially when they're choked from their own independence for a very long time. So yes, we're catching up. Yes, the black man is catching up in many things right now, but the good thing is we're catching up. We're getting there. Give us a chance to get there together, to get our act together and collaborate. Don't feel like, oh yeah, we took you, we have more resources. You guys are fucked. You guys stay where you are. You're black and Hudson, this and that. That's not the convo we should be having. Okay, shit happened then. We have technology to actually tell us that story. Let's push on. But you can't now start saying that, yeah, it's fucked up to what you're saying. You're wrong. You're wrong completely. So Lion uses very colorful words, but it doesn't mean what he said was not true as well. He uses very fucked up words. I agree. Trust me. Me and him have gone back to back in a very funny way. But I do get his point. He's not. You may not think. You may think that he's just yapping and slacking and whatever, but he's making a very strong point to this one extent. Brad, also, you're making a point as well to your own side, right? But it doesn't mean what your point that you made wasn't false, but it was also fucked. It's also a fucked up act, and I feel like we can agree about that. So it's a good conversation. I'm really enjoying it, but I'm not taking all sides because everyone's speaking facts. I yield.
Cranberry, I got a
Okay,
question for you.
I'm after
Oh,
Monica. Go ahead, Monica.
Monica left, you bitch ass
I
nigga.
want to be added to the list after Nathan.
Throw me after
all right.
Brad.
I'll go after Nathan.
No, you'll go at the back of the bus.
Yeah, get to the back of the bus, white boy, where you belong.
Add me to the queue. Add me to the queue. Bravo.
All
Add
right,
me to
cool.
the queue.
Let me just say this. I know it's unfortunate, but reality, we have to remember reality. Look, and when we look at other animals, right? And other animals kill their same species, we might have an opinion on it and say, "Hey, this is bad," or "Hey, this is good." But that's just an opinion. But objectively, it's not right or wrong. That's just nature. And when humans do it to other humans, it's just part of nature too. And if one society has a lack of resources and they see another society that doesn't know how to protect their resources, this society that needs the resources is going to take it. And sometimes when they take some of these other societies' trinkets because the society doesn't know what value is. They don't know how to value the things they have. And that happened. That happened in Africa. That happened in Asia. That happened in the New World as well, too, in the Americas. But I look at it objectively. It might be fucked up to you, but it ain't fucked up. That's just life. If anyone felt froggy and said that, hey, I'm gonna take Nathan's. Trust me, I got the means to protect what's mine. You understand that? And I bet the men inside this room will do the same thing too. If someone tried to take what's theirs, they'll protect it, right? Because we know that there are people out there that want what you have. But these primitive societies, they didn't understand that because they lack the ability to think about the future. And what happened? They got. And now we want to
But
say,
Nathan,
hey,
they were
let's.
also oppressed though. They were also oppressed. There was also oppressed. There was slavery. There was a bunch of fucked up shit. So they didn't really have a voice.
Bro,
I
the
hear what you're saying,
Africans
bro. I hear you, but
sold,
like they were
they
like they were
sold
like
themselves
they were
first,
back
bro.
against the wall, bro. Like we were
No,
fucked.
bro, do not
You
do
can't
that,
ignore
bro.
that
In
part.
certain countries in Africa never experienced slavery, bro.
Ah,
Convert, where do you live? Do you live in Nigeria?
Nigeria.
But
I'm in
my
Nigeria.
point is, they're gonna be listen. They're always gonna be weak individuals, weak people collectively, and those weak people need to be catered to, right? They need someone to protect them.
Yeah.
They need someone to teach them how to be able to
Like
defend
when
for
the
themselves.
Yorubas
Let me
like when
just
the
land here
Yorubas take
before.
over the Igbos.
Yeah, and my point is this simply, man. I get it. You might look at it and you might be a little sympathetic. Why they take this from these people? These people wasn't doing anything. That's the problem. They wasn't doing nothing, right? And I know each and one of you, let's just say this today. If this was an apocalyptic society, I know everyone in this room isn't gonna sit there and just wait for someone to take theirs. That's what happened. Those
Nathan, can I ask you a
individuals that
question when
sit
you're
there
done?
and
Yeah,
waited for
fact,
people to take
fact,
theirs, they got took. And I know
fact.
you might resemble those individuals, but you're not them no more, bro. And those individuals, they lost. You might share some of the same DNA, but that's not you. You got to move on from that shit. You got to build up what's yours now, and let the
Wait,
people
Nathan.
who are good at maintaining maintain it. So when you get better, you'll be able to take on the responsibility of
Nathan, can I ask
maintaining
you a
it
question real
someday.
quick? Just one question. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
go
Yeah,
ahead,
yeah,
brother.
just one question.
Q Q Q
Yeah,
Q Q
yeah,
Q
I know, I
Q
know. I'm
Q
sorry.
Q
I know.
Q.
Just one question. I
Just
Q,
one
promise.
let me
question, Mr.
I know,
explain.
I
Finley.
know. It's not a back and forth. Just a question. I know. I'll mute. I promise. Nathan, do you believe just because you have the bigger means and the more resources, and does it give you the right, or yeah, it's nature, I hear you, but does it give you, does it make it right to take something from someone that cannot protect what's yours? Like, yes, I agree with you, like, you want to protect what's yours. And what do you like, what makes you think maybe they didn't try to protect what was theirs? We don't know. We're in their own land. We only have scripture that actually says that. So my question to you now is, just because you have the means to take something that take something from someone that is defenseless or doesn't have the means to defend themselves, does this still make that act right? Yes, it's nature. I agree with that. Sure, fact. Yeah. But you, Nathan, you personally, in your own heart of mind of minds, do you believe that's a just act to do? Or just say, you know what, this stuff you got is very valuable. You guys can build your country. Let's collaborate. Let's say I'm saying, yeah, I'm bigger than you, motherfucker. Let me get your shit and get fuck off. Like, which one? Do you agree it's a good act or not? That's my question to you, Nathan. Am I in the Matrix or is it just me?
If you ask me, yes, I think it's a good thing. Might is right. If you're weak, you descend with death.
Might is right. It's
That's what I
crazy.
think.
Okay,
So
cool.
Yes.
so
Kill
since we
whoever is wicked in you.
ignoring the
How the
queue,
world works.
since
So
we
wait,
ignoring the
wait, wait,
queue.
Contra, wait. No, I just want to say this, man. I find it weird when Africans become disingenuous, forgetting that they themselves are products of hunger. You are Yoruba, Igbo, whatever, because smaller, weak-ass tribes got conquered by somebody bigger, and you did not hesitate to kill the enemy. I mean, this is the law of the universe, bro. At the end
Yeah,
of
I
the day,
agree.
it's either you adapt or else you
Yeah,
die.
I never disputed that.
And
But,
and and
but no,
and
no, 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 no.
and,
I never
and
disputed that. I was
wait,
just
wait, wait, wait.
asking you. But
You
you
said
think
you
it's
want to
right.
ask one question, and now you're doing it back
Oh
and
yeah,
forth.
my bad. I'm sorry. I'm
So
sorry. Yeah,
so
you're right.
so
You're right. You're
so
right.
so yeah, I think we take a lot of there's a lot of context missing. There's a lot of nuance, and I don't disagree with Nathan. I agree with Nathan to his point. I was going to bring up the fact that during the War of 1812, right, when America versus V Britain two, right, dude, the British were going to burn down the freaking White House and everything in it, including all the paintings. If it wasn't for a certain first lady, those paintings would have been gone, right? And I'm sure America wouldn't have. Oh my God, the big bad Brits burned down our paintings. They wouldn't have said anything. They'd have moved on, right? Or if the Brits would have stolen it, they wouldn't have asked for it back, right? Because that is the snapshot of that time. We are using this is to this is why I push back because again, there's a lot of nuance in the conversations, and some of these conversations overlap. Yeah, yes, white supremacy was a thing globally, but with respect to might is right. That is pretty much how things have existed through all of freaking humanity, right? So two examples that I point out that push back against the narrative is when the freaking Brits came here, were about to burn down freaking White House and all the paintings in it and artifacts in the White House. And number two, I want to push back against blacks who respect is might is right. During the 70s, 60s or 70s, when Compton was going from white to black, it was majority black and Latino, right? Majority, but the blacks were the majority. When blacks began to get the power of the city council, they themselves did to the Latinos what whites just did to them. They cut them out of all influence or power, and that's just one example that I could think of. Because again, might is right has pretty much been the name of the game like since forever. I land there.
And
But
Finley,
that might is right
since
is
it's my
crazy.
turn, I'm going to comment on this. A lot of these things, like when we talk about resources, they didn't have intrinsic value to the indigenous or the populations that were there. For instance, diamonds. Diamonds were mostly a European thing. That's where its wealth started. Like you had these resources, but they were literally in the rivers downstream. The same thing with the Aztecs. They valued gold. They used it as in their materials. It had fucking lots of gold. But for them, it was just in the ground. They could just pick it up and meld with it, and it was easy to work with. And they didn't know the intrinsic value of it. And the conquistadors came over and they're like, fuck yeah, we're taking this shit. We want this at any price. This is the resource they want. So, like, you needed other, like, unfortunately, that's just the way the world is. Somebody holds something in higher value, and the other one says, well, we have it, and a lot of it, we're just going to give it up. Like the Middle East with oil and all of these like artworks that your people are crying about today, I agree with you. If it was stolen and conquered, I think it should go back to the nations. However, I think there are carve outs. I think like what Dewey brought up about Syria, yeah, I probably wouldn't send back the Christian artwork that is that was purchased and held and being held onto. I wouldn't send that back because you'll never see it again. It'll be destroyed. I think if you're going to send it back to Somalia, no, I'm not going to do that either. Just like all of the artwork that was that literally because it was a white woman who is South African, but who painted it. All of her great collections, Irma, her great collections are now in the black market, and museums around the world are trying to go and preserve it. For who? The people of South Africa, because her collections are now fucking out there. And guess what? People who got them fucking just like looted them and sold them for fucking shit money, like $1,000. 1,000 euros? They go for
Yo, Brad,
millions.
Brad,
But
it's kind
again,
of fucked
like
up
this
how that
whole
Brad.
thing about like we need to like give it all right back. Well, then don't sell it. Don't give it up. And for like the ones that occurred in like Sierra Leone during its RUF days when they were selling fucking artwork and resources for guns to go kill fucking people, I'm sorry. No, you sold it. You got rid of it, and then the museums now have it. You got rid of it because you wanted to go get AKs so you could blow up somebody. And that had nothing to do with white fucking men. That was you selling your history, your culture to go buy guns to go kill another, to kill your own culture. Like that's the most retarded thing they go on. And did it happen all over the world? No. And there are conquerors like Britain come out and steal shit? Absolutely. The US, yes. Carving into the rock that's sacred. Every fucking rock was sacred in here. And no, the Native Americans didn't fucking go coexistence and do happy flute dances with a fucking buffalo on the ground. It didn't exist. And oh, by the way, that tribe came down fucking 75 years and displaced the Arika tribes that actually owned that territory and then fucking raped and killed and murdered that entire and genocided those fucking people that were there, like the Pawnee. So spare me this, oh, it's a sacred rock shit because the indigenous tribes were the same as African. They enslaved, they captured, they genocided, they killed, they murdered, and they sold off resources.
Okay,
Now
but
then,
wait, Brad, I
You
have a
know,
question for you,
Brad,
Brad.
Brad, Brad,
Yo,
I just
Brad,
want to
Fucking
say,
Brad, I got a
let's
question
genocide.
for
not.
Come
you.
on.
Brad,
Wait,
Native
sorry, so
let's
just
Americans
not
real
didn't
quick,
no,
just
no, no,
genocide the
one
no,
last
question
no,
for
time. Are
Brad,
you
please.
retarded?
One question for Brad.
Let's not delay. Let's not delay. There's something that you said that you just reminded me, Brad. Funny enough, Nelson Mandela's grandkids, the last great kids. I don't know if you guys know this. There was a time when I guess they all fucked up all their granddaddy's money. They started selling off portions of his ID, his document, like all these his valuables that he actually left those kids, and they were selling that shit in the auction. I think he ended up in America somewhere. I think I last I checked, I guess
Yes,
Mandela's
that's
ID is in
true.
America. They're
That
selling
there's
it. You know what I
there's
mean? These kids are selling it. This
yeah,
is what
you
people don't
can't.
understand. You don't even
Yeah,
have to
they
go to the
sold it
past.
off. It's in
Look at right
America
now.
and some of it exists in France.
Okay,
Some
but
parts.
wait. Let me ask a question. Yeah, I understand. I think, Brad, you're in terms of you saying the category of Africans who are selling it for fucked up reasons. I think we can all agree with that. That's not even like if you
That
saw
was
the
my
value in
earlier
it.
point. I
No,
wasn't
no, and I
saying
agree
it's
with you.
overall.
Yeah,
Thank you.
no. Okay, yeah, okay, wait. I agree with you. Yeah, that's I'm just clear. I'm just letting you know that I agree with that point. But there are other people that actually do sell in the same strategy of selling African artifacts. That's let's say it was back in my culture back then, or we're struggling financially, I have to sell it. I feel like if it's a legal mutual tender transaction to sell particular African ware to other people, I think if it's like a mutual understanding, respectable mutual tender, I think that should not even be questioned or even said, oh, but that's also a problem. I feel like that's a mutual tender. But if it's done fucked in a very fucked up manner, we can agree to that fact that it's fucked. Now, my question to you is the same that I asked Nathan, right? But do you believe the initial act of it being stolen in the first place is also do you feel like that's what triggered it, or do you feel like that's just part of the whole echo chamber? Because I feel like if anything happens, there has to be a trigger somewhere that set up this whole chain of this thing was stolen. Now we have it back. Now the people that actually want the Africans that want to sell it understand that the white man will pay fucking money for it, so they can actually use it for other things and other means. And it's also which was the fucked up thing that we and I agree upon. But do you think the initial fact that the white man coming to come and steal those products in the first place was the trigger to all this? Do you believe that? And do you? And of course, I know someone said might is right or whatever. I don't know. I'm not saying you agree with that one yet because I haven't heard of your response. But what's your stance on that? Do you feel like yes, is might right? And do you believe that that's what triggered the whole situation? And do you think it's a good act? Like just
First,
you
I
personally now,
don't.
you personally, as a man, as you,
So
Brad.
as a man, I don't ever think might is right or wrong. It doesn't
Okay.
matter. It's just the way the world is. So I have to accept it and operate it. If you want to ask on a moral philosophical, do I think might is right? Do you think you're right? I think it's unfair. I think the Sioux who came out of the northwoods of Minnesota and lower portions of Canada, then went through and genocided and claimed that the gods had given them the Dakotas and gave them territories while they sat there and punished other indigenous tribes by taxing them, stealing their resources, and
Yep.
then raping the women so that they could have more offspring, and then creating a commuter tax, and then going out and genociding the men, and then, oh, by the way, killing the old people so they didn't have to eat so much during winters. I think that is wrong. I think that's a glaring example that
Mhm.
is historically accurate and wrong. despite the fact that we've heard people say indigenous people
Right.
didn't do any egregious actions. Now, to your earlier point, when you look at like it was stolen, like let's say like a priceless relic that was of a religious faith,
Right. Right.
the Donna, wait, the Madonna and Child, that was a priceless work that was stolen by the Germans. We could take that. If something akin to that, that was a pivotal like reflection for an entire culture. It was part of their intrinsic, and it was stolen, then sold on the black market, and somehow the Met got it. I would argue that we should return that to the people or the culture that has it. I would be on side of that. If we're talking about a Salvador Dali that's now hanging in like or Nelson Mandela's private journal that was sold by his kids and then out there in South Africa says we want that back, I would say you're going to have a hard time persuading me because the ancestors sold it. I can't go against it. Or who was the leader of the RUF in the '90s for Sierra Leone, who was selling off fucking diamonds and fucking artworks and statues, sold all that shit off to buy guns. I'm gonna have you're gonna be harder to convince me that hey, I need to get that back per culture. This is vastly different, and I think we have to weigh them on an individual case by case basis.
Okay, so I feel like I think in summary you agree that the initial act was fucked, and you could agree that the initial act was the trigger. Yes or no?
The initial act wasn't caused by like white people, though. If that's what you're trying to
Wait,
get me to say,
wait, what? I'm just to say what?
because you said earlier in your statement that the initial act of white people coming in and trying to conquer those areas triggered the selling and the
Yeah, yeah,
theft.
yeah, 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 yeah. I'm not
I,
trying to
I
trap
I don't
you.
agree with that statement.
Okay, you don't agree with that. Okay, okay. So you don't agree that. So you agree that. Well, you agree it's a fucked up act, and you agree that that could be one of the triggers of it, of what causes chain reaction or something.
Correct. Yeah. Like I
Okay, yeah,
mean,
yeah.
I don't think France and the U.S. should hold on artwork that was actually Italian in nature, which we do, but
Right,
we
right,
got
right.
it from World War II. I think we should give it back to Italy, but the U.S. and other nations say they're not going to. There's artwork from Spain because let's be honest, Hitler was a fucking he connoisseured that fucking shit. He stole that.
Oh yeah, he did,
Like,
he did. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Sure.
And we still haven't found it all. Like
Yeah,
literally, we find hordes every like 5 years, and we're like,
yeah.
holy shit, this is down here, and we're still looking. There are Nazi treasure hunters that are trying to go and save these, and there are whole groups that are subsidized to go and look for these hordes because they're worth billions of dollars at the end of the day, and you're gonna find them because the Nazis did this shit like in mass. They're the worst that ever was, and Germany never once was asked to, hey, you conquered this area, you paid reparations to Jewish people, but you never paid reparations to like any of the nations that you stole their intrinsic wealth or cultural icons or their religious icons from. You never did it and destroyed them.
Okay, I agree with that. That's a good response, actually. I see. I like the fact that you spoke with moral and fact and historical, of course, traction. So I ain't gonna shame for that. Nah, I feel like if Lion had heard that response from you now, I feel like he would have agreed with you slightly, but I don't speak
Lion
for
wouldn't
Lion.
agree. Lion's pride. Listen, I'm being serious. I'm being serious. Lion's pride is too great to admit that he's wrong, right? And if you don't see things from his perspective, right, he is just going to fight you on it. Like this dude, he argues the law with lawyers. He argues history with historians. Freaking like that's just what he does. He will never agree. And when he sees it, when he begins to realize that he's wrong, he starts to slowly change his argument. He does it every freaking time. Every time.
It's called the Mount and Bailey fallacy. He started off with this point that, hey, they generate wealth. And then when pressed on it, no, 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 not wealth. I'm just saying they generate money from tourism in general. Like he making this like general statement that it's difficult. So
Exactly.
that's easy to defend. Oh, man.
No, knowing that wasn't his original point. He originally said was making he was making the argument that they generated freaking profits.
In Alaska, Native American were major genociders. They are fucking notorious for that shit. They kill for the fun of it. It was literally sports for these people to kill. If you ever go to Guatemala to Tikal, to Yucatan Peninsula and Cobra, the wall of some of these temples are still soaked in blood. That's how much they killed.
Yeah, I don't get this like
No,
vision
I
that
know
we
they
have.
They
of
just kill
Native
it as a tribe.
Americans that
But
are like
like,
somehow sitting there with like a bison over their shoulder, eagles screaming in the distance, the flowers dancing to them. It's not a Disney fairy tale. Like the Huron, they were fucking, they outright like set, like they were fucking murders. The Mohawk, they weren't fucking nice. They weren't fucking pleasant. Not that,
I
and
know
two,
there was a lot of long wars and stuff like that.
so
Yeah,
like
I just wouldn't.
even when Pontiac brought all the tribes together to repel the English, Pontiac's biggest problem wasn't defeating the fucking British, which he came damn near close to. It's one of the biggest strategic rebellions in America ever had, and it was the closest they ever came to actually defeating the most powerful nation in the world, and which also gives rise to the claim that Britain was still struggling from Pontiac's war economically, that it couldn't. That's one of the reasons it lost, one of the primary reasons it lost during the revolution, and it had nothing to do with the fucking French. It actually was an economic status. So when you look at these, and Pontiac in his own words said, my tribes are too fractured, too quick to kill each other instead of focusing on the main principle. And when these factions split and they went back to warring each other, they lost. All Britain had to do was keep marching, and then the Americans had to keep marching. But a lot of these tribes were fucking genocidal, homicidal maniacs. They weren't nice. They conquered each other. The Cherokee were not some noble saints of the fucking West. They were not
Don't we know
nice.
this though?
Then stop acting like, oh, the poor indigenous. Like fuck them. They
But
conquered.
I
They
didn't
stole from other
say, oh no,
indigenous,
the
and
poor
then they got conquered
indigenous.
themselves. And now
You
it's
went
this
on
way.
a
Like
long.
it
I
doesn't
didn't say
match.
that. I didn't say that.
Alaska, you want me to tell you what they did for King Gizo's funeral? You want to hear a
No,
gruesome story?
It seems like
no.
what's being done here is you're pointing out
Okay.
the quote unquote savagery of the Native Americans as like a retort to the savagery of the European settlers. Like
No,
we could just say
what
No,
it's
we're
all
no,
doing,
savagery, right?
no,
We
what
could
we're
no,
doing, we
Louis.
are
That wasn't the argument.
displaying, no, what we are doing, we are displaying the savagery of human beings.
right, okay, that's fair. Yeah, so yeah,
So,
we're all
so what the
savages.
Yeah,
claim
we're
earlier
on the
that
same
was
page
stated,
then.
Louis, was that everything was stolen from the indigenous people, and that they were just noble saints, and it's like
No
nah,
one said
they
that though. I
it,
didn't
it
say
always gives
that.
this impression, and that's why I hate this, because again, if you really want to talk about Native Americans, indigenous tribes, yeah, I get you. I feel bad for them. I feel bad for the treaties. Go on a reservation. The federal government doesn't uphold its treaties. Absolutely. I wouldn't have made a treaty with the government, but you know what? They chose to do that and they got conquered. But at the same time, it's like the famous expression where everybody holds up like a Sitting Bull, or one of the Sioux warriors on horseback with his quiver of bows and his bone plate armor and the feathers, which isn't even historically accurate. And they go, he was such a noble warrior. And it's not even true. It's so much more nuanced and so much more complex than these people do. And weren't flute players in prairie grass communing with the animals. They literally would decimate. They're the reason that the passenger pigeon and other species of animals are no longer in existence, because they killed them all and ate them all. Like, fair enough, but I mean, no one wants to actually point the true history of Native Americans and how they quested and conquered, lost and conquered, and et cetera, and go through the list of powers. And this territory has shifted so many times that it's unreal. And it's only a problem when white Europeans came over and just basically decimated and acclimated and held on to power until somebody else seizes it, which most likely will be the
But who said
Hispanics.
that?
Can I
That's
also
what.
add a
That's what.
contribute like something I don't normally say out loud, but like, even when we talk about like Juneteenth and the emancipation of Black people in this country, like, so no one ever really wants to have a
Nani,
conversation.
your mic is real low. Can you say it a
Yeah,
little bit louder?
yeah. Can you hear me now?
Don't let them gaslight you. Now
Perfect,
you're
perfect.
loud and clear.
He's fucking with you.
Okay. Um, that's the irony, is that he's the one that sounds like he's talking from a walkie-talkie. But you also have to
That's just
recognize
how he
that, like,
sounds in real life.
I would, oh God. Anyways, so the other thing too is that like they held Black people in captivity as well, right? Like, and then they didn't give Black people access to any sort of reparations or anything else like that. No one really talks. There's a lot of famous actors too who found out that their ancestors were held by a Native American people in captivity.
So I think that one of the reasons that slavery is so touchy with us is because like American slavery is more recent,
There's a lot more pictures, a lot more documentation. When slavery is in and of itself, even chattel slavery is not new. It's like it's been around since forever, ever. And even I have recently made, like, with respect to like reparations argument, I think the Jim Crow argument is a greater argument for reparations, not necessarily slavery, because slavery was the way of the world up until, right, up until. But yeah, so but it's that recency bias, I guess. Is that the proper term? Am I using that? I'm not the debate king in here.
You'll only get me to agree to reparations if you promise me that no one like Lion will ever get one
Yeah,
fucking penny.
he don't even Lion don't even claim us, fam. He said he's not of African descent. He is in his own world by himself, and hell yeah, he can be cut out. Absolutely, yeah. He says it. He says it, and he has the same for Christians. So yeah, he can be cut out. Hell yeah.
Definitely, there was a buyer, there was a seller. When you go to
It's a
Senegal to
fact.
Goa Island, you clearly can tell who was the buyer and who was the seller. I mean, I know sometimes we like to bask in our biases regarding the subject, but I hope one day we will all be well educated regarding the trade, and that way we can be put it in its right perspective, and let the cookie crumble the way it crumbles.
Alaska, what was the point that you were making? I was in a meeting and I came back to them giving examples that people butcher people, but what was your opinion that you were expressing that they're in disagreement with?
Yeah, honestly, I'm trying to remember exactly like the context because it was because we were talking about specific objects, and I was basically saying like if you care, oh, that was it. I was saying if you care so much about repatriation, why don't you, start local? Um, Basically, that was it. That was it.